All right. Let's see. Do we have it working right now?
I don't know. It's still it's
Halo,
on,
what are you doing?
I'm watching. It's on the Hoda channel, right?
It should be on the Hoda channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loading it right now. Yep, we're live.
Are we
I
good?
do.
Oh.
Let's check audio now.
Oh,
Do we come through? Are we sounding okay?
This is really catchy.
Bear with me a moment here. Just went to a. Why does it say we're hosting right now?
Not sure. Then I do see us on the screen. I just don't want to turn on the sound and just have suddenly this very weird echo go on.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh no!
Weird echo. I heard myself say echo, so that's good. So
That is.
I think that we're good. All right. Welcome, everyone. Hi. This is the first time we are introducing this group of D&D players to a streaming experience as we are sharing this campaign with all of you. I hope you enjoy. But first, let's start off with going around the table and introducing everyone who's here. Why don't we start with ladies first, of course. Kayla, why don't you tell us who you're playing?
I know you weren't, but I would love it if you had said Scott in that moment. Oh, okay.
A zinger, but no.
No, so I'm Kayla. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've been in the Hoda stream before. If you guys have seen the usual Hoda stream, I was everyone's least favorite gnome, Lilash, and now I get to play somebody different who everyone hopefully likes better.
And who is this player that you're playing?
Oh, yes.
The core of the question, yes.
I play Valindra. She is half tiefling, half elf.
Yes.
Pretty cool. She's got a cute little fox.
Yep. And what's your class?
A warlock.
Warlock. All right. So let's start off with the second one. Let's see. How about we do a coin flip just for shits and giggles? Heads for Scott. Tails for Cody. Looks like it's heads for Scott. All right. Scott, who do you play?
Hello, my name is Scott. I live in Southern California, and I will be playing the Forge Cleric Varkesh Stormcaller, a large dragonborn hybrid Goliath mix, and he will be hopefully very interesting, and I hope you enjoy him.
Perfect. And of course, last but certainly not least, Cody, who are you playing?
Hey there, I'm Cody. I'm from Michigan, and I'll be playing the half tiefling, half kenku Inquisitive Rogue Rook.
Yes. And as you guys have just might have heard from all of our players here, they are currently doing a fun homebrew for this campaign rule, which is half-breed. It is part of the lore in this world where any of those who have been of one race and another have been able to successfully couple and create what are called half-breeds. And there is a custom set of rules that I will eventually post later, but for now, all you have to know is that basically there's about... an additional, we're all good at probability math, right? Let's see, there's like 18 races.
Oh, maybe.
18 times 18, is that it? Is that how you do it?
2!
I think that's how we do it. Let me double check with my little kind of the calculator. So let's just see.
He's cheating. He's using a
It should be
calculator.
164.
Right, 324. 324. But I don't know. But that's just a guess. There's now like a ton of combinations, and some of those combinations I mentioned there are actually incorrect, because you can flip-flop with primary and secondary. So, big hullabaloo. We'll leave that to the side. As we go into the campaign setting for today, we are here in the world of Folorin. There have been 4 great ages ever since the beginning of this world, and currently we are in the Age of Glory. This is just after the Age of Reckoning, when the armies of the undead had currently swept across the land and devastated most of the old cities and populace that had once spanned across the entire continent. Now, with the small refuge and sanctuary in the Folorin Valley, they were able to successfully thwart this onslaught and were able to protect and keep, the bastions of civilization alive. And now they are branching back out into the world to rediscover all the things that have been lost, and to also rekindle any of those old relationships and other kingdoms that have been slowly forgotten to time. Now, last we left off, the party here had eventually ventured together, and they found their way to a small little ruin in a forest near a place called Bear Top. From there, they were able to uncover that what appeared to be a slightly intense kobold burglary going on in the lower part of this ruined temple. They were able to follow them down into their tunnels and see that there was a leader who called themselves the Kobold King, who happened to be a very strange human individual that was able to cast magic quite effectively, but was also being pursued by another individual of almost a similar nature, a black-haired, tall, thin, very sophisticated man who helped assist the party to be able to stop his continuing pilfering of ruins, as well as whatever he was planning, since they brought back what appeared to be a very rare relic, an item of great power called an Arcane Stone. Now, those stones themselves are part of this world's history and lore, and we will get more to that later, but as the party had successfully gathered their riches and went back to Beartop, they found that the little town had its own problems with the forest nearby, basically intruding on what was considered their own land for a great time, but they were able to settle the differences successfully, let the town continue to thrive as it would, with some limitations on them, and then they set back out to go to the place that they originally met, River Run. They were able to sail up the river with a few bumps along the way. They were able to make port right inside and put the rest right at the Golden Lily Inn, which is run by our lovely little gnome named Sippy, and she has basically been taking care of them, letting them relax, catch their breath, and we have now basically come to the end of an evening as they had slumbered quite peacefully in this lavish inn. So we wake up to the next day. As you all come to, the morning, you find that the tavern is still very clean, very pristine, and you can tell that there is a level of high quality, as you can even hear down below the sounds of bards and minstrels playing and opening the entire room to just a wave of music. The whole kind of atmosphere is just filled with joy and liveliness. It's a great way to wake up, actually. It's been very faint and soft to you, but you just feel that kind of pleasant arousal as you come out of the sheets and get yourselves dressed for the day, and you head downstairs, finding that there is a very large array of what appears to be patrons who have come in for what appears to be a almost very highly demanded breakfast that you can assume, since there's a line forming outside the inn. As you can see that many people are waiting for tables and seats to be able to enjoy an early meal. But as you come down, you do see that just nearby the front door of this little dining room area in the inn, that Sippy just pops right up, and she just greets you with a happy, cheerful smile. "Good morning! Oh, I'm so glad that you came. Please, please, we have a table reserved for all those who stay at the inn. Please, over here, this way." As she leads you to a small little section, she goes, I assume, though you bedded separately, you would like to dine together? I don't want
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. Perfect. I made the expectation. All right, good. It's like she just quickly just skitters off to the side, and you see there's a nice table in the corner, a very large, round wooden block that has this kind of lovely setup of what appears to be clean silverware, a beautiful tablecloth draped over the whole, and you each are able to find a seat in Varkesh, though your size is quite large, being not only Dragonborn, but also a half-breed with a Goliath. You're very tall and broad, so for the most part you find that the best way for you to sit down is a small little section of a chair just on the outside of the table, so you don't sit in the corner. You kind of block, giving a nice little privacy with your back.
When I sit down, I say, "Good morning, everyone! Good morning, other patrons! This breakfast is awesome!"
You do see a few occasional people just lifting up their glasses and going, "Good morning!" And a lady...
These are friendly people.
You can tell that many of the people here are very happy, and they seem to be considering themselves lucky to be able to get a table here. But as little Sippy puts you all to your table, you see her just kind of perk up and go, "Okay, what can I get you? We can get you the chef's special if you like. Most people prefer the chef's special, if I have to say so myself. Would you like the special?"
May I ask, what is the chef's special?
Oh, it is poached quail eggs with sprinkling bacon bits with some extra chives and a little bit of extra toast on the side that has been smeared with a strawberry jam. And then, of course, we have our lovely drink, which I prefer myself. It is my own concoction. It is a slight bit of orange, a little bit of sherry, and a dash of what we call sparkling wine. It is splendid. I would recommend every morning starts with one of these.
Can I order 10, please? For myself.
Why not? The more the merrier.
I love this woman! She's going to feed me!
Shall I put it on your tab for later?
Just looked at Valindrigan. She's going to feed me.
Shall I put it on your tab for later?
What's a tab?
Oh, it's a small little side expense that you can accumulate during your stay here, so you don't have to pay now. We can just keep tally of it, and then when you finish your stay, you can just pay me then.
Sounds complicated, but okay.
Oh, it's very simple, and it is my pleasure. I will get you those 10 all at once, or one at a time continuously.
Oh no, all at once, please.
All at once, right! To it we go. Oh, I'm sorry, before I leave, of course, my dear, would you like anything? Would you also like another? Shall I make it
Well,
a
Please, Sippy, I would love one of each of your recommendations. They sound lovely.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. I just want one special, please.
One special.
Thank you. Also, I have your book. I'll give her.
You finished it? Oh, thank you. She takes it. Was it exciting? I find it such a thrill to read.
Oh, it was riveting. Very good.
I thought so. But here, I'll put this up. And did you want a drink as well? A nice little bit of alcohol in the morning? Never too early.
I'm going to think about it, and then I'm going to look at
Yes,
Markesh,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm
Yes.
going to be like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm probably going to do that.
I just give her like the biggest draconic thumbs up ever.
You see the tiny little gnome does it right back at you? All right, I'll be right back. And you see her scurry away as she goes off to attend to the order that you have. Basically.
Wow, she's rather fast.
She's very
Isn't she great? She's so very friendly. This is exactly the kind of treatment you should expect at a fine quality inn like this.
I'm not used to places like this. I'm usually used to places that can't fit me.
I've never been in a place that's fine either, but I think I could get used to it. It's a little pricey, though. But it's nice every once in a while.
Yes, so as you all settle down and just kind of do your own little morning chit-chat here and there, you see that Sippy comes back very quickly. At first, you can see that she is basically carrying this large tray on her shoulder. You can tell that the weight of itself is pretty hefty for her in her small frame, but she is carrying what appears to be at least 5 of the glasses that she had promised as she kind of walks over and goes, 5! And she pops it down, and then she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be back with the rest. And you see her just scurry off. The drinks are very, very beautiful to look at. You can tell that there is a level of like chef quality detail to them. They are in a very tall glass that seems to have a slight oblong at the bottom, filled with what appears to be a bright orange and a nice whipping of white at the top.
Yes.
Take one.
What is this? I do not recognize this alcohol. It looks rather fruity. It smells rather fruity too.
At this point, Rook kind of leans forward and dips his beak in. Because he's a bird. A little difficult to drink from a regular glass as a bird.
It is very refreshing. You find that the taste is a very nice little mellow mix of the citrus that the orange gives, but it isn't too overpowering. It just seems to be almost like a breath, a little refresher.
Well, does it taste any good?
Yes, it is the best way to start the morning. She was not joking at all.
Very well. I just grabbed 2 and it's just like, just like downing them.
Okay, I mean, for your large frame, you're able to probably just spill them in, but make a dexterity check for me to see how successfully it goes in the mouth and not on the...
No, the first roll of the first thing ever, and I'm going to fail it, I can tell.
No, you're not. You got this.
You just have to
Wish
beat
me
a
luck.
10. Beat a
Oh
10.
my god!
I wish you luck.
Okay, no.
Bad luck.
I did not beat a 10!
So as you see Varkesh take the 2 glasses, he begins to kind of try to balance out to get them both in, but you see a majority of it is like spillage on the corner, so it's just like just slightly going off to the side before realizing, not a good idea. So you kind of have half
Don't
of them.
have any lips like normal people, so that was probably not a smart idea.
You do see that now there's about
Yeah.
filled glasses in each hand, which he just quickly goes, there you go. That's how you get the rest in.
Well, that was interesting.
But as
Probably
you
won't
are-
be doing that again.
As you are chugging down your drinks in quick succession, you see Sippy coming once more again, this time with 7 glasses, as she's now doing this little weird step of like, as she's making...
Would you like some help, dear?
No! I'm good! Nothing but the best for our clients! And you see her finally get there, and she, puts it down, goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, running out of room, 5, 2 empty, perfect, 6, 7, 1, 2, and she takes the 2 empty ones and pops them on, and she goes, it had a little bit of a spillage. I'll get you a napkin real quick. Excuse me, as she rushes off.
A napkin? This place is high class.
You do see
Going
that
to
the
kill herself trying to take care of us.
the commotion that you do kind of bring is a bit of a noticeable point for most of the patrons, as they seem to turn and look at your rather loud and very playful display, but many of them just seem to kind of take it to the atmosphere that's already just been a part of this inn, and they don't really seem to find it as a bother, but more of as a playful thing to talk about. As you see, many people are just twisting their heads and doing little gossip whispers and chatting just slightly.
I'm never going to apologize for being loud.
Rakesh, did you grow up in a literal swamp?
What makes you say that?
Napkins are kind of a staple in any fine establishment anywhere in the world.
No. I understand that. But why specifically a swamp? Why not a volcano? Or a giant...
Simply the most
crack in the
uncivilized
earth?
location I could think of right this moment.
You're a little shit in the morning, aren't you? A
Made a
swamp.
mess of
I
this
mean, really?
area.
I would like to take my drink and go to another table.
As you pick up your drink and look around, there are no available tables.
I will sit back down and take a giant gulp of my alcoholic beverage.
You do. It is enough to kind of give a little bit of burn as the excess is but, not bad.
And if you must know, I was born in a house. Provided the house didn't have a roof at the time, but I was born in a legitimate home.
It didn't have a roof?
No.
I don't know if it counts as a house if it doesn't have a roof. I think
It
it's
had 4 walls and a door and a couple of windows.
Sounds like a stall.
It was not a... You're going to get
Stop.
plucked. You're going to get plucked one day, bud.
As you continue on, you do see Sippy comes back and she goes, "I have your order," as she just seems to skip along, and you see her bring it down. You see her bringing out 3 plates. 1 to each of you, as you all have a nice, what appears to be a beautiful display. You can see that some of the sauce has been spiraled off to the side to just give it that little extra flair. You are in a very classy establishment at the moment. You'd never asked how much the price is, and in typical fashion for most of these expensive places, they don't explain what the price is. They assume that you can pay it, and that is that. So there is no real kind of understanding of what exactly you're digging yourself into right now, but at the moment, it is
I
still
just
a
take my
pleasant
plate and I look at Rook and I just turn my back on him. I'm born in a barn, so I best eat like one. And I just daintily eat
No.
the fork.
No, please, Rakesh.
See? Inside manners.
You're doing lovely now. That's very nice. Good job.
You do see that Sippy as is sitting off to the side. She goes, "Can I get you anything else? Oh, your napkins, by the way." And she kind of holds out about 6 napkins to you, Varkesh, because you're a very large person, and she only...
I have a
has
big
something
lap.
sized.
Just place them out all over my lap.
But she's, "Can I get you anything else? Would you like a refresher, miss?"
I need another one, yes. I thought
Yes.
one was going to be good. I need another one. Thank you.
No problem. And for you, good sir?
I do believe our large friend wanted another 9 courses of this meal.
Did he? Did you?
I was not joking.
Oh, all specials then?
Is that what that was? Valindra? Was it a special?
Yes, I think that's what we ordered.
Well, I will be reserved. Seeing as this one thinks I was born in a swamp, I will be fine with just the one. Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
Glares at the bird.
Varkesh, but if you're going to be hungry the rest of the day, I mean, no offense, but I don't want to deal with you hungry. So you should probably just eat your fill. And
Nope. That's fine, because I can always trust you to deliver biscuits. You've kept me
What
fed
have I
this
signed
well.
myself up for?
You see that Sippy doesn't want to argue with any of your assumptions and silently leaves the table as she gets to the second game.
I'm so sorry for our group.
But she comes back very quickly and sets it down as she quickly looks around for a moment and goes, "I have some time. Did you happen to decide? Were you staying for a full week? Or did you wish to pay your bill later?"
Oh, that's
We
right.
haven't actually discussed that yet.
Yeah, I was supposed to
I
talk
for
to
one
you
think we
about
should
that.
stay as long as we can. This is again, I cannot express how lovely this location is. It's so much better. This
Nobody tells me anything.
It was terrible.
You see her, she's kind of blushing a little bit. She's just like, "Thank you."
I mean, I don't know if I can afford to stay this week.
I mean, I know how you feel. Napkins. This place must be really high class. Proper top drawer.
Well,
Nothing but the
won't
finest.
press you
I
now.
selected it after all.
But of course, if in case this was your last night with us, we can tally your bill. But of course, if you wish to stay more nights, then we can just add it on further in. But you let me know. I'll be back to attend to you whenever you need me. And she just gives a little bow and hops
Well,
right off.
just out of curiosity, could we see our current bill, just so I could sort of have an estimate?
Yes, of course, I can get that for you. Please wait one moment as she just scurries off, and you see her go into the kitchen before she comes back in about another minute or so, providing you a small little slip of paper that's been folded up, and she hands it to you, and then just gives a little bow as she steps back. Oh yes, so you see the bill itself. It shows a tally of 45 gold.
I literally just, made over 1,000 gold with one job. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but there's better stuff to spend this on than just...
What are you talking about, better stuff? This place is the best.
Well, okay, there's not...
You see this drink? And this food? And the bats? And the rooms. They were...
I feel really bad about wasting half of that ale now down my front instead of in my mouth.
You have 8 more. It's okay.
I know. They're really expensive.
Yeah, we do have a substantial amount of coin to spend, but, what about... I don't know, I feel like there's better things we could spend our money on than really fancy lodging with napkins.
Your priorities don't make sense to me, Melandra. They just don't.
Well...
should we steal the napkins?
No.
I'm pretty sure they were given to you, but...
What?
No, we should... No, I think they reuse the napkins. They wash the napkins, right? I don't think you get to take them as souvenirs.
I just pick up one of the napkins and just give it one of those little fabric tugs to see if it's of higher quality. Or if it's just a throwaway napkin.
Oh, the napkins themselves are very nice. You can see they are bleached white, pristine, and they're very well padded. Those things are soakers. They are thick napkins. They are not like the dinky little things.
Give me your napkins. And I just start grabbing the napkins and I shove them down in between my pectorals underneath my plate armor. Just have them the bits of the corners just sticking out under my collar. We have napkins.
So you're giving yourself a little gentleman's frill going on right there. But yes, as you stuff them down, kind of giving you a nice little look about, Sippy is still standing there looking at you, and she's looking at Varkesh doing this and just not knowing what to say. I'm glad you like them.
Part of my culture, young lady, we take what we like and we keep them between our pectorals as a sign of great respect to your establishment.
Well,
did you think about it?
Thank you. I'll leave you with this for the moment, and if you need me, just give me a holler. She kind of does a double take looking back and then keeps going on. And
your napkins are lovely.
On second thought, Valendra, I see your points.
Uh-huh.
I
I don't think we're meant for places like this.
Why not?
This is exactly like this.
Well, okay, I guess I should say I'm not used to places like this, and clearly Varkesh is not used to all these fancy napkins.
She's right, I'm not.
But yes, Varkesh, are you, by the way, downing all the drinks still?
How much did they cost?
Well, I was just curious. Because you said you were drinking a total of what was it, 10, I believe.
Oh, I'm gonna drink them. I really am gonna drink them.
We're good. As you are progressively talking, then I'm assuming you're doing this. Please make a Constitution saving throw for me as you are continuing to go shot, 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 shot.
Everybody. Oh, 17.
You're able to hold it. You do still feel that very noticeable buzz. It is kind of, you're very happy right now at this point, and you do feel that sensation, but you are not completely
getting a bit of the beer sweats, and I pull out one of the napkins and just dab one of my head, brow my head, and then stuff it back inside. This is really good stuff.
It is certainly a plate wearer's pocket for you right now, as you have your napkins.
On the plus side, he's going to smell like oranges all day.
That is a plus side.
That is a really good smell to have all day.
Yes,
Can I tell he's getting a little bit
make an insight check.
tipsy and rowdy?
I mean, you know Varkesh's rowdiness, so let's see how well you can discern if this is a different kind of rowdy.
It's just
Okay.
me, Coyote Ugly, on the table, just giving it. Oh no!
It's a little bit yes, a little bit no. You could assume that perhaps it might be his natural behavior, or maybe perhaps he's getting a little looser with the drink. It's kind of down to your own judgment.
He's just being Varkesh. This is how he always is.
Damn right.
This is true. This is true.
Well, okay, if we do want to stay here, I mean, I don't think we should. I think we should find a middle ground. I mean, this was nice for, the first night back in town for special occasions, but we're kind of drawing a lot of attention to ourselves right now.
No, we're not. Everyone, are we drawing attention to ourselves?
No, that's...
You do see many of the patrons are turning their heads away, just trying to not look at you and make eye contact. Just kind of
See?
like,
They don't even know we're here. I want some more napkins. These are some really good napkins.
You don't need any more napkins. You have like 12 of them shoved in your chest.
There was only 6.
I make more somehow.
I guess if you cut them in half, then it would be 12. But it's such a waste of napkins.
No! We're gonna get kicked out. We're not gonna have an option to stay here again. She's just gonna kick us out.
Did you choose to rip one in half?
No.
Okay.
I was just kind of like mime acting out what Rook just said, but
Okay, Valendra, if you don't like my choice of establishment, where do you propose we go?
Well, it's not that I don't like it. It is. It's very nice. It's just gonna look at Varkesh. We're drawing a lot of attention to ourselves.
I agree. Valindra, you are being awfully loud.
I just kind of look over at Valendra, look up at Varkesh.
I wanted... Okay, no... Okay.
During this little awkward moment, you do still have your little fennec fox Winnie has eventually gotten off your shoulder and has started to lick the plates for some of the leftovers, being a little hungry himself, just kind of doing a little of everything, just trying to get the little
What he
scraps.
has. He's the cutest. I'm gonna scratch his little head.
Oh yeah,
Well-
he leans into it. Just,
I mean, we can definitely stay here, but we are gonna need to find some other way to get money because we're gonna run out in a week.
Well, that's why we came back here. We were going to find another job, remember?
Okay, well then let's find another job.
So I'm assuming that we are staying together so we can go fight more ghouls and creepy things in dark places, yes?
That was what was discussed, yes? Remember when we were leaving the last creepy place full of large kobolds?
I apologize. I often find it hard to remember when I'm trying to save my own skin and not die. That's my mind.
I can't remember why I agreed to that, but yeah, we did agree to that.
I don't know why I fucking agreed to this, but whatever.
As a woman of refinement, of course, your word is your bond. Sippy.
Sippy, as you can actually tell when you say that, she has been eyeing you consistently, and once you say that, she scurries over immediately and goes, do you wish to settle up, or are you going to stay more?
Yes, we can settle up for right now. We might be back later tonight, but for now we are going to pay off and see what happens.
Oh, all right, perfect. So please, if you wouldn't mind, she looks between all three of you to see who's going to pay her.
I slide over 45 gold.
Okay, so you start to count and tally up, and she looks and she makes sure that all things in order. Thank you. She takes them, and you see her putting them into a little bag onto the side that she tinks them in.
I will give her 15 gold.
Alright, so you start to give Rook a little bit of extra for the cost as he gets 15 put in front of him. Sippy just continually just puts them into her bag before she finishes up and goes, alright. Well, of course, please, if you wish to keep your rooms, just let me know, and as long as you come back before the evening's out, I'll be sure to keep them in reserve for you. But, enjoy your stay here at the Golden Lily, and of course, if you are, is this your first time in Riverrun, or have you been here before?
Was it that obvious?
Well, we've been here briefly before.
Oh, okay. Oh, so well,
right?
if you need anything,
I think so.
if you need to know where something is, I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You did mention last night some collectors of books.
Oh,
Didn't know.
yes, I did. I went to a few of them. I quickly inquired, and I got a few responses back. Let me see, one moment. And she kind of just starts to pull through her own little book as she kind of pulls and goes, oh, okay, let me see. And just kind of flips through and goes, oh, okay, yes, all right. We have Lord Malvern, yes. He has a nice collection, and he'd be happy to share as long as you just mention you heard him from me. He's a very friendly man. I would recommend though, you might want to put a cloak on and make sure he doesn't see any easy pinching reaches. I would just meet from one girl to another. She kind of keeps going on. Yes, and of course, we have, oh, yes, we also have the open library, which is, well, I say open library, but it is basically one of our more notable patrons who tends to enjoy people who like to be more learned and enjoy, gaining knowledge. He has a small little attaché to his library wing that he puts out for the public to look at and view. So if you wish to see that one, that is Lord Blackwood. He is I think he's about maybe 4 or 5 blocks down to the left. But you can't miss it. It's a very tall building, very narrow and slim, with a nice black trim on the sides. You can't miss it. But go there, look for the wide open doors, and you shall be able to find your way in there. But other than that, those are the two that are the most, at least have gotten back to me, I suppose, as short as it was.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I will definitely pay these gentlemen a visit.
Certainly, and if there's any book in specific that you're looking for, any particular kind of author or any subject and whatnot, I would strongly recommend going to the Traders Guild. They'll most likely be able to find any type of literature you're looking for, to be able to check their stocks across all of Folorin and see what they can find and bring to you.
That's actually an incredibly helpful tip. Thank you.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I need to go to the Traders Guild. I have some business to attend to.
Oh, well,
okay.
I'm so glad that you stayed here, because, of course, we are not but 2 skips away from the Traders Hall. As you can just see it right there at the window. And you can see it is a very large, gray, imposing building to the square. The heart of River Run itself has a great big market in the middle, but you can see that the market has been set up straight in front of this almost town hall kind of building.
And were you able to get that letter sent out last night?
Yes, I did. We have it currently in the post. It is going to be sent sometime either later today or tomorrow.
Excellent, thank you.
Certainly. Is there anything else I can get you? Any more information you might need?
I'm slightly curious. Where would one find more interesting jobs? I mean, we found a wanted poster in the tavern where we came from originally, but I believe we are far superior for most common things.
Oh, well, I suppose most contracts are typically either posted at the local heroes' inns or adventuring lodges. So there is, of course, the Whispering Thistle. That's right at the front gate. They usually put contracts up there for quick. But if you want to go for more, what I would call bounty-based requests, or people who are looking for specific types of hirees, you can also try that at the Traders Guild. They tend to get anyone who has contracts, requests, and all those sorts brought into one establishment. Makes it very simple and easy, of course, and you're more likely to find patrons of high-paying caliber to be able to request your aid if you go through them. There's a bit more of an extra sense of, security in the contract, since it, of course, is going through such a very well-established business.
Well, thank you very much. That was incredibly helpful.
I thought so. I tried to be as best I can. And now, if there's anything else, of course, you can let me know. I'll be nearby, or I'll be at the front desk. But enjoy your stay here, and please come back soon. I do enjoy all your company. She kind of...
I wave one of the napkins at her. Say, goodbye.
She kind of skips away as she heads off towards the front, and once more skirts around the side and heads towards the desk at the front of the inn. You can tell that because her specific job seems to be to cater to the guests that stay at the inn. As you can tell that the remainder of the people who have come in for a very high swanky breakfast, they are being basically waited on by other staff members that just cater to this dining area.
Sippy was at the desk last night too, wasn't she?
She was.
Well, she probably stays here, as with all high-class establishments. Their employees live here most often.
Well, I didn't know, like, when she sleeps, or if she sleeps. She's very full of energy.
Sleeps.
I'm honestly not entirely certain she does at this point. She's so exuberant all the time.
You could probably assume the secret is those orange shots of alcohol every day.
Oh, God! Sippy, are you okay?
I mean, there's probably a few different... there's a few different nicknames given to the sipper, but, you know.
I get it now.
I'm not going now. Too easy. No, not doing it.
But currently, though, you have paid your tab in full for the current rooms that you have had last night. You can, of course, keep them if you wish, and you have paid your tab for the food for the dining hall. So, what would you like to do?
What would you two like to do? I would like to do something, but I don't know what.
I know Varkesh and I need to go to the Traders Guild. Rook, do you have anything you need to get done there?
I could probably pick up some more crossbow bolts at least, yes.
Okay, well, then.
Also, I still have, like, all of these gold bars that you had me carrying to Varkesh. We may want to get those traded out.
What gold bars?
The ones that you smelted while we were in the Cobalt Caves.
DM!
Yes.
Were there gold bars smelted? Because I remember doing silver and copper.
Yes, you didn't do the gold.
Oh, okay. Well, then I had the actual direct gold. Scratch that!
Thank you.
I misremembered, my apologies.
But yes, so you do still have in your bag of holding the smelted silver and copper, and you have gold coins as well, but yes.
I mean, we can most likely trade them in the Traders Guild. Get the equivalent value of the actual material cost itself.
This is true. It would make it much easier to carry, at least.
That my bag of holding feels like it's about to burst.
To the Traders Guild.
All right.
Onward to the place where the trade happens.
So as you all stand up to leave, there is a bit of a gaze that does follow your party, as it is a very noticeable crowd that just seems to look at the spectacle of you three as you leave. But as you exit the actual establishment, you can see that the day is bright, it is beautiful, the air is clean, you can see that a majority of the sky is just puffed with white clouds, and just up ahead you can see the tall, imposing Traders Hall. As you walk towards it, you enter the large wooden doors and you come into the grand foyer. You can see that the main entryway is a very illuminated establishment. You can see that just from looking here and straight up, you can see that the vaulted ceiling in the center is made entirely of glass, as the sun beams straight down into the middle. The entire place is bustling with business. You can see many different races scurrying about left and right, carrying paperwork, boxes and crates, letters and parchments, a multitude of just an abundance of trade and business going on here. You can see many people arguing, some discussing, some debating. It's a cacophony to some degree. But you can see just off to the side there are a few what appear to be almost kind of half-built desks and bars that have just been pushed off to the side and all the way down the length that seem to have a few people waiting, listening, talking to other people who wish to do business with the traders. As you can see, many people are currently just, finding their way through this chaos.
Yes, indeed.
Who would like to go first? I mean, I would, but I don't do well in crowds, because I step on them, and they end up shouting at me.
Maybe just watch where you're stepping.
I could do that, but I don't really have the time to look out for other people.
You have a very prodigious voice. Can you just shout, "Make way," and they'd move?
That's a fantastic idea.
Oh, God,
Make
why?
way!
As
Way
you
for
say
Varkash.
this,
I am here to do business.
the entire chamber echoes. It is a flat stone entire interior, so you
Gonna get
can
the
see that
gods.
as you do it, it is a large echo, a very grand sound. And as you do, everyone kind of does a little pause and looks in your direction. It was just kind
Hello?
of like a... Then they all go back to moving about into their business real quickly, just scurrying off to the side, and once more just going back to the routine that they seem to have already been in the middle of. But yeah, you certainly made your presence known.
Well, there you have it. Now, if anybody complains, you can tell them you told them to move.
Well, I suppose so. So I guess Varkash will push forward. He'll just.
And I will stay close behind him, taking advantage of the natural clearing he creates.
I shall
As
part
you-
it like
as
the
you
Reds.
break the wave of people, you continue to weave through, finding your
Excuse
way.
me. Sorry, if I step on you, it's your fucking fault.
Many
Move
do
out
seem
the
to
way.
they give you a very wide berth, not only from your size, but also your very loud introduction. There's a very noticeable kind of gaze following you from every single individual, just making sure to know where you are within their vicinity. You eventually reach the actual side tables onto the left. As you can see that there is one available clerk that seems to be seated down. It looks to be a very pale, pasty individual. Nothing particularly interesting, just about a bit more of like a matted, dark, muddy blonde hair. Seems to have a few, looks to be like ink smears on the side of his face from just doing this occasionally, and you can see that his hands have black spots all over it as he's filling out a few of these what appear to be parchments that are just piled with numbers and letters, and you can see that he is just in the middle of something. But as you do walk forward, your own footfalls, Varkash, are very heavy, and they can kind of feel the vibration enough that he is able to notice and look up. But he just kind of looks up and goes, "Oh,
Hello down there.
hi. Can I help you?"
Yes, I honestly hope you can. I have this letter. Let me find it. Varkash will just rummage around his own belongings and pull out the letter of recommendation or the guild letter and go, I assume I hand this in to you. This proves that I am better than anyone else at making most things.
He pulls out the paper from your
He's a man of many talents.
He reads it.
Thank you.
It's a small little folded up sheet of paper that he then unfolds it, and you can see that for the two of you, as you notice this, it looks to be a very well stacked set of parchment with a nice wax seal and a bit of ribbon on the bottom that seems to have a very official kind of feel to it. And as he looks it over for a moment, he goes, "Oh, very well." He just folds it back up and hands it back to you. Welcome
thank you.
back. We are glad to have a member of the guild, of course, here. Is there anything you are looking for that I can help you with? Are your friends with you in the back?
Yes, these are my friends. I have two of them. The bird and the elf. The elf lady.
Are you sure about that?
Forget our names, Varkash.
These two are my friends. And they are here to do business alongside yours truly.
Oh, well, excellent. Where can I direct you, or what do you need? What are you looking for?
I need some work materials. I have no fucking clue what these two want.
Oh, I'm looking for some crossbow bolts.
Oh, that's simple store. Yes, we can do that. But just here to purchase. Anything else?
I'm only here to purchase. You, Varkash?
Oh, I'll probably buy anything if it's good.
Well, if there's anything else,
Blanketed statement ever.
If there's anything else you'd like me to look for in particular, I can also, go down a few of the listings that we have. But it's up to you.
Well, it may not be a bad idea to stock up some health potions for those of us who can't heal ourselves.
Why do you say that with such disdain? I've healed you. I've done my
and
job.
it has been lovely. I'm just saying that I don't like having to rely on others, is all.
You, fucking chicken little, should not get hurt. And therefore you wouldn't have to complain to me to heal you.
Maybe if you provided a better distraction, I wouldn't get hurt.
I'm 8 foot fucking tall. What more of a distraction do you need?
I don't know, but clearly I need more.
Fuck.
Oh no. Okay, he's back.
Kaiju.
But yes, But as you mention health potions, he does look up and goes, "Oh, I take it then that means you're adventurers of some sort, expeditioners, people going out into the wilderness."
Of course.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to see you here. I didn't realize we had adventures. You've not been affiliated with the guild? Are you represented by anyone? Well, I mean, one of our traders, not necessarily our members.
Well, he is a trader. No, I don't suppose we are we?
Oh, well.
Unless, Varkesh, do you have a direct sponsor?
Sorry, a direct what?
A sponsor. I think that's what he's talking about right now.
No, just my teacher, who recommended me to this guild where I've done work before.
Well, if you haven't had any official representation, might I be the first to offer this? And as you see him slide some paperwork down, you then hear this little off to the side. As you look to the right, you can see that there is a woman who is moving with incredible speed as she is just going, and you see her push the boy to the side as he goes, and flies off. She goes, "Hello, darlings. I heard you were looking for an agent." Yes?
Oh my
I'd
god.
like you immediately. Do tell me, what are you offering?
Why do I feel my soul is being harvested for food?
Oh, perish the thought, darling. No, my name, of course, is Lulu Baudelaire. Please. And you see the boy trying to get up, and she just goes, "Back down, Tommy." And she's just... And so...
Look over to see if he's all right. Like,
he is on the floor, and you see him just kind of looking a little reserved, as she just has this presence about her that she's just like, "Don't bother, they're mine." But you see her just kind of leaning as, "I take it then you need a trader representative, yes? I'd be happy to help you with my services." So, tell me, what type of adventuring do you do?
Not the fire and brimstone kind, if that's what you're implying.
I'm not entirely certain what you're referring to. We had plenty of fire and brimstone in the last location.
I'm a cleric. I can tell a devil woman when I see one.
No, I assure you, I am not. But you see that, Bitsies. But you can see that as she is talking to you, you can tell that this woman is actually a human. You can see that her hair is a little bit pushed off to the side, nicely and neatly kept. It's very well cut. You can see it's just kept in a perfect length with a bit of a bob to the side. You can see her entire attire is completely formal. She has a very nice white blouse that is tucked up with a tiny little brooch in the middle. You can see she has a very beautiful, almost kind of scarlet satin kind of vest that comes down. It's a bit more of like a darker black and blue to its color, and you can see the pushy sleeves coming off to the side as she has her hands littered with a few rings and some bracelets, and you can see just her attire is very clean and cut. She has nice black pants that just kind of go to a nice little small set of black boots. This woman is nothing but professional and the pinnacle of just order. You can see that she has just this air of being not only confident, but also completely in control.
Yeah, the devil often is.
But she does look and goes, I assure you, I do not have any tiefling blood in me, darling. But either way, I am happy to, get amongst the best of them if you catch my drift. But I hear you need representative. How about you sign up with me? I assure you, every one of my adventurers finds themselves in the most perfect positions to find their way into the higher rankings of society. We will make sure to get you very well noticed by the upper crust. So, yes, shall we? I insist we should do this.
And what exactly are you offering here, and how many others do you have at your employ? And
you see her just pulling out papers and putting one in front of each of you. Yes, sorry to interrupt you, darling, but yes, I am here to basically provide you with all the essentials that you need here at the guild hall. Any questions you have, any particular trades and other deals that you might happen to be going around with, I shall be the one who shall supervise them, and I shall be at your beck and call. I will make sure that every single effort I do is to make sure that you are the best at what you do. I will find you all the perfect, what you would consider contracts, bounties, different contracts for going out into the world, discovering, rediscovering, or even sometimes finding interesting, what you might call treasures that have been either lost or sometimes taken, and the rightful owners request them to be, returned by any means.
May I ask, what is your commission? Is it children's souls? Because I don't do children's souls.
Oh, no. I can't weigh children's souls. No, I prefer mine in coin. Nothing but the best of platinum and gold.
You heard it first. She likes making poor, innocent children into coins. She's the devil.
As you continue to talk, she goes, oh my, you are such a splendid dragonborn, aren't you? Look at you with your polished armor, and is that an amulet I see there? Ooh, it's beautiful.
You are very astute. I'm now starting to like you that much more.
I knew you would, darling. Yes. And, my dear, you here, I love your markings. And is that a little fox on your shoulder? Oh, he's adorable. Come in.
Yeah.
Winnie
Be
is
careful,
not
he
happy.
bites.
Winnie is
Be
not
careful,
happy.
he bites.
Yeah, Winnie is immediately just kind of doing the whole ear slap, just going, He's just not too happy. She's just like, pretty.
No.
And you, my fine, are you a kenku or are you something else? Because you seem to be talking quite normally. I've never seen a kenku like this.
I've asked that question myself.
Oh.
That is a yes to both. My, you see, my mother is a tiefling, but my father is a kenku. It has been very fortuitous.
Oh, you are a half-breed. I understand completely. And as I assume you too, my dear, are also half-breed because of your reddish marks. And
You really are an observant one.
I
Yes.
am. Yeah, please, just sign these right here. Here's a pen. The quill.
Well, that was a very interesting pitch, but I would actually also like to hear what Tommy had to say.
Oh, Tommy has no consequence whatsoever. Tommy's gone. Okay? Tommy has screwed off.
Tommy, no!
Tommy has been resummoned to the ninth circle of hell.
But you can see that at the moment, when she's been talking to you and you kind of do a little glance to the side, there has been a noticeable empty space growing as anyone who has been associated to help people are just keeping a distance.
Anytime she has paid attention to someone other than Rook, he's been kind of getting a little glary. He's complimented everyone except Rook, so he's a little upset. I'd like to make an insight check into what exactly he's on about.
Varkash is actually starting to like her more because she's complimenting him.
So, you like her? You want to check the inside of what particularly?
I want to see. I suppose I want to see exactly. I want to try to get a feel for how much exactly she's looking for in terms of commission. So, that being the case, I'd like to ask, and how much exactly are we talking for commission?
She goes,
You mentioned gold and platinum, which tells me high prices.
Oh, I only give you the highest contract, so I only request a measly 10%. So small, just a trifle, nothing to take away from your glorious earnings from the effort that you do. I am just playing the middleman. Well, woman. Yes. But,
And is this a typical amount?
oh, yes, typically 10% is what most of us will go for. Now,
And that's what I'd like to insight specifically.
oh, sure, roll to see for the inside if she's telling you the truth.
The souls of the innocent
22.
shall be mine.
You get the sense that she is completely honest and is absolutely wanting to get you under her wing.
Hey, fun. I like it.
Her devil wing? The devil wing?
Well, but she's not wearing Prada, but yes.
You've been very forthright. I think this is reasonable. Varkash, Valindra, I will not make decisions for all of us. But
Perfect. Here's your quill. Sign right there.
Well, actually, Rook, I'm kind of curious. I didn't know you could make things.
you didn't know I could make things.
No, I actually honestly thought you were pretty fucking useless. How about that?
Pointedly ignores this statement.
You do see that as you're looking at Varkesh, she's slowly taking your hand and putting it.
She's writing your name.
What's the feathers? What's the feathers?
So.
I don't think that counts, actually, if you do that.
Oh,
I don't-
no. She's just guiding it. I'm just putting it right there. There you go. You sign yourself.
Can you, give us a minute to talk about it?
Yes, of course, darling. A minute is all that it will take for you to be convinced. By all means. Wait.
Oh,
Wait for a moment, my dear. Hold on. Tell me, are you magically inclined?
That's
oh
a
my
bit of a
God, you
personal
are good.
question.
I knew it. I could tell there's a bit of me who can easily spot those who are well, I guess you could say, more special than the others. I could tell, my dear, just by your
Rook
delicate
is
features.
glaring daggers.
She just looks and goes,
do me next! Do me next!
Oh, one moment, darling. But you, my dear, you are especially exquisite. I think that all those who would try to find your services would pay an extra on top just to have you and your talents. I can make sure that anyone who chooses to hire you will find themselves throwing gold at you. I'll make sure they pay double just for you.
That's the creepiest thing I have ever heard.
Sounds like a wonderful.
Like a snake head just whispering in your ear. Just that.
Well, thank you. That is very kind. Does she seem sketchy when she says that?
Make an insight check.
I mean, like, I feel like there's some pretty shady shit she's trying to...
She's an agent.
Yeah, but...
She seems to just be flattery and complete sincere honesty with you. She is just trying to make you feel special, it seems.
Oh my god, you're so just too kind, too much. We just need one moment, though.
Of course. Oh, but your friend here can continue signing. Yes, go right ahead, Mr.
Well, actually, I need both party members.
Oh, okay, of course.
Yes, they're a bit of a package deal.
Yeah, we are a party, you know. It's like
yes.
all or nothing.
Even
so.
better, I can make sure that your rates are increased even more so because of teamwork. You find that many people who work together in such great parties are in high demand for those extra difficult.
I'm like grabbing Rook and Varkesh and slowly backing away as she's talking.
She is just keeping her eyes on you as she is just smiling and looking and just kind of doing this little waiting.
Okay, I don't like her. This is out of earshot, by the way. I don't like her. Winnie doesn't like her. And that's saying something because Winnie is super sweet. He can also read people really well. I don't trust her. I think we should run away.
I liked her initially, but she complimented everybody but me, so clearly she has awful taste.
Actually, I think she's right on the money, and I like her. Just saying.
I don't think signing up with her is going to be the best idea, Varkesh.
She does seem well connected, though.
But exactly. Wouldn't she have the means for us to obtain quite a substantial amount of gold?
Well, she's an agent. That's her job. But, I mean...
Exactly.
Well, she's quite good at it. She's very insistent. And she's
clearly evil, but, I mean...
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, no, she's...
Poor taste does not make someone evil, Varkesh.
She's evil.
Point in fact, actually.
She's evil. I bet her contact number is 666.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you guys really think it's a good idea.
I don't see the harm in shopping around a little bit and see what else is available.
I mean, I just need work to do. That's all I'm about, is just the work and the adventuring.
I will say this. We need to read those contracts over very carefully if we decide to go with them.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to, put in my 2 cents there because, like I said, I don't trust her. Winnie doesn't trust her, which is typically a bad sign. So.
We have all decided that we are going to accept your proposal and sign up with you.
Marvelous, darling! Here, and I have already a contract lined up for you right now, if you'd like.
This is what we were planning, right?
No biscuits today, Varkesh. For tomorrow!
No!
What he means to say is we would like to look over the contract and ask around a little bit.
You may please, by all means, look it over, take it for yourself. Go on, we have plenty of copies. Here you go, here you go.
Excellent. And where can we find you later when we inevitably find that no one else is quite as good as you?
Darling, I'll find you. Ta-ta!
She has a scent.
So skeevy. Oh, God.
Scent. To know where we are.
Yes, if you choose to step away from the desk, you do have the contracts to read. They are very simple, standard contracts. You can see that it just literally says that you will be listed under the sponsorship of Lulu. She will be in charge of basically conducting contracts between anyone that you pick up and any ones that are available. So it just basically has what you consider a almost kind of like a binding, like working through one person only. It seems that there's a typical thing, and you can tell that the papers here are almost kind of print stamped. It's a very standard contract that seems to be associated with anyone who is an adventurer who wants to try and continue to operate with business and contracts and bounties and the like. They typically have to go through a representative of the Traders Guild in order to basically be, given the contracts in the first place. You have to be legitimized almost.
Well, at this point, we do start walking away, so we're not having this discussion directly in front of her.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You've stepped off to the side and have
excellent.
Basically convened in the center where you can still see there is a hustle and bustle of people all around you moving left and right, multiple races and half-breeds too, all just going about throughout the hall, kind of giving you your space and ignoring you for the most part, but you can tell that no one seems to be bothered by your stance just right there.
I do believe we should try to find Tommy again. He was going to point us in the direction of some goods.
Wait, find who?
Tommy.
The poor man she shoved out of the way.
I shoved him out the way?
No.
No, Lulu shoved him out the way when
I
sponsorship packet first.
Fuck me, I can hardly remember.
I'm gonna look for Tommy.
So, Cash, do you have short-term memory loss?
Who are you?
So go ahead and do a perception check to find him. You try to look around to see if you can see him in this almost kind of like this weird "Where's Waldo" moment as you're looking throughout the crowd. It's hard. You can't really see Tommy anywhere.
I think she scared him off for good.
She ate him.
I think we would have noticed that, but
I've seen spiders do that.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen them do that. We didn't see her hit anybody. She's probably fine.
She's a devil. She could have done it really quickly.
But she's a human, Varkesh.
Lies.
So, what would you like to do?
Okay. Well, I think we need to find another representative who isn't busy at the moment first.
All right. Well, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Mm-hmm. And it would be there.
Okay, 19. As you begin to inquire and go about from, in a sense, station to station, you see that as each one looks up at you and looks and sees just you, Varkesh, and or Valindra all together or separately, you get to this very weird sensation that as they look up to you and they kind of see you, they talk to you for a moment here and there, offering suggestions, but when it comes to getting a different opinion or another contract, you see many of them just kind of make an excuse. They just either quickly run off to the side, just go, I need to use the restroom, off they go, or a kind of a little bit more of a nervous Nelly kind of individual, just immediately seeing you, just ducks behind the desk and just goes, no, but busy, can't help you now, I'm sorry, and just continue to look around. You see that a majority of what appears to be the traders that work in this hall are trying their best to avoid you.
I didn't think you were that scary, Varkesh.
I think it's because I'm blue. What a horrible time we live in.
People love the color blue.
I know, it's fantastic.
The sky, the water.
Mm-hmm. But they're accountants and resource management. They don't get out very much, I would assume.
Probably scares them off, really. Well,
Lulu sounds like probably our best option.
I understand you have concerns, but she does seem very capable.
I say we sign up with her. It could be fun. Or it could mean the end of us completely. But I'm fine with either way.
And of course, we could always just work as free agents for right now until we come to another city with a different traders guild. That's an option as well.
I think they're all interconnected.
Exactly, but Lulu won't be at the other location.
You don't know that.
Probably, she might be.
She seemed very intense.
I have to wonder how anybody else ever manages to get an adventurer with an action like that. I mean, you seen the way people react? We were only speaking with her for like 5 minutes, if that.
She seems to know what she wants.
I still think it's a bad idea, but I mean, we have to have a sponsor. She's the only one who is going to do that for us.
Yeah.
I agree. I say we sign up with her. The evil ones are generally the best ones for business, if I can remember correctly.
Well, she's very cutthroat. I know some people would be very proud to have someone like that among their ranks.
To join your murder of crows. Ha 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 ha.
That's racist, and I'm upset.
Are you? I don't apologize.
So do you all head back to Lulu?
Yes, I guess we do.
I don't know. I'm gonna look at Winnie and be like, I don't know. What do you think? You think
Winnie immediately just goes into the scratching engine.
Okay, yes. But do you think we should trust her?
He kind of does the whole thing with a cat where he kind of like does the nose nuzzle into the hand, trying to get it to pick up and nuzzle him some more. So he's doing that kind of like, just keep petting. Just keep doing it.
I guess we can go back.
I need closure.
Okay, so we start to look for Lulu.
It is not hard to find. As you can see, she is still standing there, looking at you all patiently as she just eventually sees you come back, and she just goes, "Darlings, you have your paperwork looked over? Are you satisfied? Are you ready to sign?"
She is both my favorite and least favorite NPC I've ever met.
I love her. She's great.
I will just go over and sign my name. Varkesh Stormcaller.
You see that
There you are.
As you do that, she's looking over and going, "Thank you."
Do I still have my soul?
Of course, darling. I don't
Just
do
making sure.
souls.
I took out my own quill and ink and signed mine Rook Belfry. And very fancy looking hand. And
She's like, "Impressive. I can see there's a little bit of an artist in you." And you, my dear, yes.
I will go up.
Begrudgingly.
She eventually waits for you to do it, then she goes, "Marvelous." Takes the piece of paper, puts them all together, and kind of stacks them up. "I have a contract for you if you're willing to."
As it so happens, we are in the market for a contract. What is this contract?
"I thought you might be." "Yes." And she kind of just puts the papers down, and then she pulls out another contract and goes, "One of our more, well, how should I say it?"
Well, you should just say it.
Well, wealthier clients has come across a little bit of a snag. It seems that someone has recently stolen something from their treasures, and they would like it returned to them. Now, of course, I typically don't deal with anything as petty as thieves. However, he did take off with something very valuable, and she looks slowly at Valindra. Very magical. Perhaps if you would be willing to take this one, you will be satisfied with the reward." As she slides the contract towards you, you can see that the paper has a very general kind of filled out application process to it. And you can see that it says, "Wanted, bone porcelain urn, contents undisclosed, reward 2,000 gold pieces."
Fuck me sideways with a wooden spoon. That's a lot of coin. We should go for it. We really should.
Just so we know, are there any other contracts available at the moment, or is this all you have for us right now?
She goes, "Oh, I only deal in the most expensive contracts for my adventures, and well, I can look around for some more, but this is a really good one. This is a very great opportunity for you. You can get your names recognized, you get your foot in the door. I strongly suggest we go for this one." Yes.
Well, you do know the local market. I trust your judgment.
Thank you.
That said, where might we start with this?
Well, from what I know, he did say that the last known whereabouts of the item was stolen in a district just about 5 blocks down from us here. They said that it was taken, 2 nights ago. They have been able to narrow down the searches, but they do believe that a specific individual might have taken it. The prime suspect was a individual known as she turns the paper around and goes, James Moxon. Yes, James Moxon is the supposed thief. However, there is no proof, of course. This is just on the client's belief, but who am I to question? But I believe you have the skills necessary to track this down and bring it back safe and sound, and collect on our earnings. Your earnings, of course.
Oh, please, there's no need to be so skittish about it. This is your earnings too. It's a mutual beneficial arrangement.
It is, darling, it absolutely is. But still, of course, I have the utmost faith in all of you to do this.
Did you say the name of the man who had the item taken from him?
I did not, dear. He's a specifically private individual. He prefers to keep his name a bit more to himself. He goes by a pseudonym, though. If you wish to know the pseudonym, it's nothing really of consequence. It's just just a silly little one.
Okay.
Please do.
Well, very well. He calls himself, well, she kind of looks around quietly, just trying to not say it too loudly. She kind of does the whole, come a little closer for a moment. He goes, it's Mr. Tall Wood.
Mr. Tallwood.
Put it down. Don't say anything. Yes.
What's wrong with that name?
Well, nothing's wrong with it, darling, but it is anyone who tends to do business with him tends to draw a crowd, and you don't want anyone to to snipe your your prize. If anyone finds out that I give you a contract just from him, others might try to take it from you, and we don't want
I'd like to make an insight check on that statement.
Go ahead.
To see how fourth rate she's being here. And I'm here. 20.
You can tell that she is concerned that no one overhears who specifically gave you this contract. It seems to be almost like a cutthroat kind of business where anyone who is given the contract can give it out to any adventurer, and whoever completes the task first typically will get the bounty. So it's kind of a, first come, first serve. But if she has a bit of an in on something and hasn't informed the rest of the guild that, this contract has been made available, then she's basically slightly, skewing the rules a little bit, not letting it go.
Oh, I like her. I like her.
Well, where might we find, in case we have more questions?
You can't see him. All of our clients are exclusive, private individuals. Many of them prefer to keep themselves anonymous. They don't want to be, part of the business. They prefer just to quickly make a mention, have us do the task, return, or complete, and there you go. Simple, easy.
I respect that, but what if we have questions for him?
Oh, you can ask me, and I will be happy to provide you with
Oh,
all the information.
Marvelous.
Yes, isn't it? I am so perfect at my job, darling. You'll be amazed.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. Well then, I'm sure we will be seeing you again very soon.
Will you be taking on the contract? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Sign your names on the contract, please.
Do so.
Rook. Belfry.
Perfect. It is now sealed as yours. Now, of course, if you can bring it back sooner than later, I'd be most appreciative. But, of course, I don't know exactly where this thief has gone off to, but I'm sure you'll find him in no time. Yes, so, darlings, ta-ta for now. And of course, was there, you were shopping for anything that you needed?
Yes, of course. We were in the market for, some crossbow bolts for myself and some healing potions.
And some metallic materials, if the Traders Guild has any in stock.
well, it's more specifically, any materials?
Any rare materials,
Well,
by chance?
We have. I'm sorry. What was the last bit?
Rare materials.
Was there another word?
Materials.
All right. Well, any materials you would like specifically?
Metal, maybe.
Well, yes, we can acquire metal from any of our local smiths or any of the foundries that are within the Trilac district, as well as maybe some in the Bylock, but mostly in the Trilac, of course. We can have an order sent in if you'd like. It would take me no more than a day. If unless you wished it rushed, we could rush it much sooner.
I don't mind waiting for a day.
Oh, right, that makes sense. What would you like?
Depends what's on offer.
Well, darling, this is the Traders Guild. Everything is on offer. You know this. You remember, are you not? We deal in every good, from the lowest cotton ball to the most esteemed, pristine work of art. We do it all.
I've been here once.
That's a very terrible shame, but I won't hold it against you. But
Yes.
I can get you anything your heart desires.
Surprise me.
That doesn't work so well for me. How about we go with specifics?
Let's see. Let's start with gems. I am looking for 2 diamonds, 2 rubies, 2 sapphires, 2 citrines, and 2 amethysts. Would that be something that you can acquire?
She just kind of pulls out her own quill and goes, what type of size, weight, carat, anything?
Nothing too large. Something that you would often put in jewelry, so nothing too large and expensive. Diamonds going roughly for about the 300 gold mark a piece, depending, if you can pull that off.
Oh, if you have a budget, darling, I can work with a budget. Now, please, what's your budget?
What's our budget?
Oh, are we all pitching in for these gems?
Oh, no. I was just asking before I decided to splurge.
I have a personal fund of our cash. You're welcome to do what you want with your own money.
At least 300 gold pieces a gem, if possible.
All right, 300 for each one. At max, you would say, of course, I'd get it less for you.
More or
that
less.
Good.
Thank you.
So let's see then. So that we're totaling here for double it to that. Yes. So we're looking at 10 in total. Yes. All right. 10 to. All right, 3,000 gold worth at least. So I shall do my best to find them. Jewelry sized, of course. Yes. No
Rough.
bigger than perhaps.
Would it be cheaper if they are rough gems?
Well, yes.
Uncut.
Yes.
Then get those.
Oh, right. Uncut diamonds, citrines. All right, yes, got it now. And did you say you wanted them no bigger than perhaps the size of a what measurement?
Let's just say about the end portion of my thumb, which I guess to most people is rather large.
That is very large. That is pretty much the size of like a little bird's egg for you.
Little bird's egg it is.
She kind of looks at you and goes, okay. Sized. All right, there we are. So, an order shall be placed in. I shall have it delivered for you to inspect the goods, and then you shall, of course, choose whether or not you wish to purchase them. Yes, but that will take me about a day or 2 just to get all the proper shipments in.
Someone had mentioned that there are like a flow of books that come through here.
Oh, yes, we do all sorts of literature, spells, scrolls, anything you might like from all the different types. Anything specifically?
Well, I just wanted, you guys have a current collection I can just sort of browse through.
Oh, what's currently here? In Riverrun? Oh, well, I mean, the list is very extensive if you wish to look at it, I suppose, but, well, one moment, please. Just hold on for a second. As she kind of, you see her do a slight casting with her fingers, a very small gesture, as she then whispers in a direction to someone, and you see her wait for a moment. The ledger will be brought up shortly. As she kind of smiles and looks around politely, just to the side, waiting. As eventually you hear a slightly panting individual, as a very rotund man with a balding head starts to appear just from the side, as you see him hauling what appears to be a very large tome. It has about what you would assume maybe almost 2 feet in thickness, as this thing is being like lumbered over, as you see him just kind of go and leave it on the desk, as she just goes, thank you, off you go. Go now.
Oh God, thank you.
He scuttles off now. He was out of breath, but you see once he's out of the radius of her vicinity, he kind of does a little take and breathe, but she's just ignoring him and flipping through the book and going, she pulls about maybe 20 pages or so. She goes, literatures and novels. Here you are, as she turns it to the side. All pages past this point will be about that. There's about, I'd say a good, what is it, 500 pages or so to look through. So, by all means, please see if anything you'd like.
Jesus, 500 pages.
Okay. I would like to scan while Rook looks for his crossbow bolts and other stuff. I would like to scan through and try to find any books might seem particularly interesting.
Okay, see whatever catches your eye. Go ahead and make an investigation check with disadvantage.
Oh no. Okay.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. As you start to look through, you can see that a majority of the scribbling and text is just, it's hurting the eyes. They're so well packed together and put into a way that seems to be organized where it's hard to tell if one's an author, one's a title, if one's both the same or not. It's kind of a difficult, almost translation to just read this book. It is nothing that you've been accustomed to, and you just kind of flip through about 20 pages or so before you're just going like, oh, this hurts. This really hurts. The best.
This is what happens when I use all my good rolls in session 0, guys.
Nope.
The best that you can tell from the majority.
20 seconds.
The best that you can tell from the majority of the entries, they seem to just be titles. They don't have anything that's listed specifically in terms of genres or categories. It looks to just be almost slightly just named, and it's hard to tell if it's either alphabetized to author or not, because each page seems to have an addition to it and scratches. It is just a mismatch. There is no order to this tome. She is just letting it be.
Okay, this is terribly organized. You should really work on this.
This is not my department, darling. This is the scholars, the little scryers, the little dirt bugs. They are in charge of that.
I'm sure you have some influence over them, darling.
I can influence them all I like, but I put my powers to better use. To you.
Causing plagues and...
Only if it suits me, darling. Only if it suits me. No.
Well, okay, I guess just screw this, because no. I'm looking for books on, like, strange stories about interesting deities, dark power. Sort of fascinates me a little bit.
A zealot type, I understand in time.
Exciting.
All right, so she takes out another part. She begins to write down. She goes, Pelk's deity, pantheon, forgotten gods, and other entry. All right, I shall have them inquire about all that we have in stock, and I shall get this to you in, let's say about 6 hours or so.
Okay, well, I'll just come back tomorrow with Varkash.
Oh, splendid. I shall have it ready for you. All the books listings.
Thanks.
She was helpful.
I am absolutely helpful.
Oh, shit, you're still there.
You never left me, darling. You're right here.
She will always be everywhere from this point on.
The black magic woman.
Yeah, speaking of that, will we be expected to display a mark of any sort on us to indicate that we are
owned
By you.
Darlings, you signed the contract. That's all the mark I need.
Excellent.
Why does that not make me feel better?
That makes me feel worse.
I like her. I don't know what you guys' problem is.
I will return in 3 moons to remove your kidneys. Good day, gentlemen.
Yes, by all means, please, if you wish. Continue to do what you do best, and I shall do what I do best. I shall sing your name with praise and find all the best contracts for you. Yes, I am the best.
No killing the competition.
No promises, darling.
We should go.
I like you.
I like
You
you
are-
too.
You would like anyone who stabs things. That you're a creepy bird. You're a creepy lady. But you guess we're working under you now. So good day. I'm hungry.
Respect for expertise. Okay.
But yes, what would you like to do?
I would like to find a bakery.
Oh, well, that's not going to be too hard for you to do.
Ooh, bakery for me.
Okay, but do the rest of you all head out to the Traders Guild?
I wanted to pay Lord Blackwood a visit.
I mean, other than the bolts, the health potions, and I realized that I would also like to get my hands on some studded leather. So I guess I'm still in shopping mode.
I'm running out the guild halls, looking for a bakery.
As you, by the way, are stepping away, you do see eventually, Rook, you hear this in your ear, a slight whisper of a different kind of arcane message just tickling your ear and your brain as you hear the very familiar voice of Lulu just going, Darlings, I will have your crossbows, bolts, and your health potions waiting for you in the next hour. Pick them up whenever you like.
Get her out of my head.
She only whispers to Rook.
Oh, then I hear nothing.
Takes care of that then. All right, well, that's all my business, I suppose. Wait, actually, I spin around looking for her because I don't know that I can respond to this.
Yep. She did. She is nowhere near you at all.
Excellent. I shall have to ask tomorrow. And then I leave. I'll just follow after Varkesh, I suppose.
Okay. Yep. As you see him heading out, he just follows his nose. Go ahead and Varkesh make a perception check for me as you try to sniff out the nearest bakery. All right. As you
That
smell,
way!
you are
I
able
smell
to,
cinnamon!
you are able to pinpoint a bakery very, very quickly as you find that in the morning, a lot of the times, bakers always do their baking and prepping at the early crack of dawn. And so you can even begin to smell that fresh loaf of bread.
My nose isn't that key. Oh my god, it is that key.
You do eventually come across what appears
I
to
smash up against the window.
be... You come across what appears to be a very well presented bakery. The front has a beautiful display of what appears to be white window crossing, and inside you can look and peer inside to see what appears to be a selection of pastries, breads, cakes, a multitude of just exquisite baked goods. You can tell that right now, at the heart of River Run, a majority of the businesses that operate here do so at one of the most, prestigious manners. They have everything here to be catering to not only the wealthiest of individuals, but those who have refined tastes. As you enter inside, Varkesh, you do have to kind of do a little bit of a duck in the side.
Oh no, I'm
as your bulky
just
form.
drooling out the window right about now.
You're just drilling, but yeah, inside you can see that what awaits you is, a treasure trove of baked goods.
You know you had to go in the door to get to those, right?
I don't like going inside places like this. Last time I went in, I kind of ruined the place.
Would you like me to go in for you?
That would be fantastic. Could you pick me up one of everything?
Do you have a budget for this?
As much as one of everything would cost, yes, I suppose I will pay for it. This is my treat. I don't often get to do this.
Okay. I go in and I go up to the front counter.
All right. When you enter, the smell it hits you far more strongly as you are able to enter the very warm establishment. You can see that not only is the place completely cozy in terms of just its presentation and its decoration, but also the warmth of the ovens and the smell and aroma of cinnamon, sugar, and all the different just beautiful delicacies just awaiting for you as you enter and see just behind the counter what appears to be a very large, rotund man. He seems to be more round in the belly than in the face, as he has a very nice white apron that you can see just near the bottom has a bit of what looks to be stains from icing or jelly or other different bits of toppings for these pastries. As he looks and goes, "Welcome to my store, please. Come in, come in."
He sounds like me! Delete him from the game, the cheating bastard!
Yeah, he comes and goes, "Welcome, come in, please. I, of course, am here to service all your sweet tooth needs, please. Anything you like, let me know."
Yes, hello. I actually know exactly what I'd like. I would like one of everything, please.
Give him the thumbs up
One
through the
of
window.
everything? Everything?
One of everything, in Varkesh's voice.
Just go, "Sir, you are a man who's after my own heart. I would have one of everything every day if I could fit it in my own belly," as he taps his little stomach, well, big stomach, as he just kind of looks about and goes, "One of everything? Are you absolutely sure? Just for you? I feel that you're
For the fellow who was scuffing up your window right now.
It's just like T-Rex, like steam against the window. It's
I
just
see. Yes, that makes more sense. All right, very well. Let us get you one of everything." As you see him going throughout the shop, he begins to pick up what appears to be a selection of the entire stock. He goes to where the baguettes are, pulls them out. He starts to pull out what appears to be other different loaves, muffins, cupcakes, coffee cakes, pastries, bear claws, cookies. You can see cake slices brought off to the side. You see chocolate cake, you see red velvet, you see carrot cake, you see classic vanilla, lemon zest. There's a multitude of these that he just kind of puts into this little stack and kind of keeps it all in one little area. They all become a mismatch.
Could I get a double of that red velvet, please?
Is that for your own?
Of course.
It's one of my favorites. Another red. And he puts another red slice off to the side as he continues to go throughout the store. He is literally circling the entire place. As you can see that it is set up in a slightly categorized bit of breads to one side, pastries to another, cakes to one side, and a few what you consider to be a bit of like odd bits and batches of cookies and slight little sweet rolls, small little things that don't really have a necessary little categorized spot for them. But he does bring back what appears to be all the different pastry goods put off to the side, laying them down on the counter as he begins to organize them, bringing out what appears to be paper that he just kind of pulls out and lays down there as he starts to pile them up, and he begins to fold it and put it into a bit of a packaging as he ties a string around it. He does it for the same thing and continues to fold pieces up, taking board and paper, packaging them all into a very large kind of pyramid. It seems to be about a good 3 feet tall. It's got about maybe 10 packages on it. And of course, your one slice left off to the side if you wanted to eat it now. He wasn't sure if you were wanting to devour it.
It is an impressive display. Okay, how much do I owe you?
Well, for one for everything. That would be a total of 15 gold pieces.
Give him 15 gold pieces.
Just like tapping my claws against the window and I'm getting a bit impatient.
Thank you. 15.
And another gold piece for the window.
You kind of see him just go, oh.
The drool is going to just ruin the see-through.
Let us hope your friend doesn't truly do too much damage. Thank you. Do you need help carrying these out?
Please. He doesn't want to come inside for fear of wrecking the place.
He's like, of course. Danielle! Danielle! As he calls off to the side, you then see this one small woman who comes out who seems to be about maybe in her late teens, could be 15 or 16. She's got flour smeared all over her face, and she's got her hair tied up in a nice little kind of cloth bandana, just keeping it nice and out of the way as she kind of looks around, dusting her hands off, going, "Yes. Oh, hello. By all means, Danielle, please, I need you to bring these out to that individual over there. And she looks up the window and goes,
This game got really impatient.
okay. She kind of
Friendlier than he looks, I
She
promise.
picks up one package and then a second one as she holds them, and then you see the big man beginning to pile them on top of her as she's now becoming this like brace for the whole weight. As eventually he finishes off his little pyramid of pastries. And
I just take my one piece of cake
Yep.
and start eating it.
You have yours in a nice little kind of what appears to be a paper kind of just a little wax paper that you just basically have it in as you just pick it off with your hands and start to bite. It's very moist. You can see that the cream in the middle is extremely smooth and very light. There is no heaviness to this cake. It is like puff in and gone. But as you see Danielle kind of doing this, trying to struggle and go through the door without knocking the top of the pyramid and just trying to get her hands between the frame. But eventually she comes out and she holds it towards you, Varkesh.
Ah, thank you, little one. And I just take all of the pastries and all the cakes and I start stuffing them in my bag of holding, except one baguette, which I just start ripping into instantly.
Okay, well, yeah, so you tear apart the one that the bag gets in and you yank it out as the rest just go 1, 2, 3, 4 into the bag of holding as they just get swallowed up.
Sorry about the window. I get really impatient when it comes to puff pastry.
She's like, don't mention it. Enjoy, as she kind of quickly...
Will do!
She scurries back in and kind of just like tries to avoid looking at anyone, just... And she goes...
Thank you for your help.
You see the head man just kind of looking at her, just going, shy girl, don't worry about it. Come back any time, please. Toodles! Goodbye!
Goodbye.
Goodbye!
Thank you.
I mimic his voice. Goodbye. Goodbye. And then I turn to Varkesh and like,
he finds that quite
15
pleasant when
gold.
you do that.
Yes, I like it.
What was that?
A pleasant goodbye. That was 15 gold.
Yes, of course. Let me just look. 1, 2, 3. That's 15. Yes, that's 15 gold pieces. There you are, my little birdie friend. But what was that just now? You tried to imitate him, and I swear to God you just tried to imitate me too.
I don't know what you mean by tried to. I did.
It wasn't that
It's
convincing.
a parlor trick.
But yes, Varkesh, do you give him the full amount?
I gave him the full amount.
All right. So you have 15 gold marked off on your sheet, and you get yours back. So you head out onto the square. Valindra, did you wish to pursue the directions that Sippy gave you to finding the public wing to the library? All right. Now, with that silent yes that I got from you.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Oh,
But
no.
I saw the lips, so we got it. Yeah. So you head off, basically leading the way for the rest of the party as Varkesh behind you is biting on the baguette, which of course you know is the best because every time he bites, it makes that lovely crisp noise as the crust just flake breaks, that little symphony of crackle. But you are able to follow up on the directions that Sippy gave you before you turn around and see what appears to be a very narrow and long building. It seems to have very tall spire-like buttresses that seem to span around the outer perimeter of the wall, and you can see that it kind of moves in a bit of an L shape that kind of gives it a distinct right angle. As you follow it to the side, you do see eventually a small little jut from the building that leads to an open pair of large wooden doors with iron bolts inside. You can see just past it in the interior there looks to be a small little square of a room, but it does seem to have a very substantial amount of height, probably about a good 2.5 to 3 stories tall. As you can see that inside there is a selection of what appears to be shelves that are also just kind of surrounding the sides of 4 long tall windows to give enough ample light. You can see inside that there are tables on the bottom area that seem to be where people can bring anything they want to look and read. But as you do enter, you do see that there are 2 individuals off to the side, both dressed in a very nice clean-cut uniform with leather armor across their chests and a small emblem in the center. You can see that in the middle there looks to be a You could assume a kind of a livery, can't remember how you pronounce that, but you can see that there looks to be a tiny little emblem that has what appears to be imprinted in it. A little black raven head that seems to be nestled inside a circle, and outside the circle there are leaves going around it.
Okay. Okay, I will approach them.
They seem to pay you no mind. They watch you, but they don't open a greeting. They don't seem to stop you, but they are keeping an eye.
Hi. I'm actually looking for books on, like, do you have just a gods and deities?
You see them both glance at each other for a moment, and they look, and he goes, "Miss, this is a library. Of course there's books in here. Look for it yourself."
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much for that. Okay, I will walk in then.
Yep, you walk right in. They do not stop you. They seem to be almost just in case to make sure nothing bad goes on. They look to just be like a stationary form of just bodyguarding.
This is a fucking library. What do you think? Really?
But they don't seem to
Such
be
dicks, I love them.
They don't seem to be interested in anything else but their one job, which is making sure no one steals or takes any books away.
Fucking
or
stand
does
there
any
being
harm.
sarky twats. That's what they care about.
But as you do enter inside, you can see that there are maybe about 5 or so individuals that are slightly browsing around. You can tell that a majority of the people in here are well dressed and kept in a very clean and, if not what, extravagant kind of attire. You see that just from looking about and from just your own appearance and those behind you, that only people who look to be of good stock are allowed inside. You all three are able to fit that bill with your own attire being very well kept, Rook having a very nice fancy shirt underneath his own clothing, and you obviously still dressed in a nice, clean and pretty way, and Varkash, of course, just wearing armor. He just looks to be a very obviously well-off individual, having scored.
Don't forget his very nice cloth
Little napkin.
florets or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yes,
Loads of napkins just like sticking out the top of my plate.
His cravat. His napkin cravat.
As you eventually all walk inside, and you can see that the entire place is filled to the brim with books. A multitude of them seem to just be stacked occasionally here and there. Nothing kind of compact or organized. You can just see they're just kind of picked up and put back, picked up and put back. There's no real Dewey Decimal System or anything that kind of keeps them in a nice, clean, orderly manner. So, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to find a book.
Well, I mean, you can find any book. Is there?
I'm gonna try to find a book about, like, patrons, about the mark on my arm, about specifically that, but
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna find anything.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay, so it takes you a good amount of time to do this. You spend about a good 30 minutes or so going around the bottom looking for anything that might have some interest, basically pulling out some of the spines, because some of the books are just plain leather and you have to open to the first page to see what the title is. Some of them you're just easily like, nope. Lineages and Nobility, nope. Crops, nope. And you're just like, nope. You can easily read just right off the bat. Some of these things are just like, I don't care about smithing. I don't care about the, agricultural benefits of, lake and irrigation versus river. None of these things are relevant. But eventually, upon the second story, as you get to the half-hour mark, you stumble across at least one book that you do come to open up and find that it does seem to have in its title the patrons, deities, and other divine beings of Folorin.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to look for, I don't know, does it have any pictures so I can try to find what I'm looking for?
As you start to do your little...
She needs a picture book.
As you start to do a little skimming through the pages, you do occasionally see a few ink-made drawings that seem to just be very crude and simple. A majority of them look to be tied into symbols and other types of icons that are usually associated with certain gods, deities, and their marks. but a majority of them, you can tell just off the bat, some of them you're just able to read and go, all right, yep, got that one. And none of them are too complicated. You recognize some of the symbols for the Ebon Empress. You see one for the Forest Father. You see one for the Judge Seer. Nothing, overly unfamiliar. You can pretty much read any of them that you'd like.
Okay. But I don't see any that match what I have on.
From the one that you have specifically, no. But in regards to the patrons section, the one where it talks about people who get powers from other sources, there is a few chapters that seem to talk about it in a bit of almost like a scholastic study that seems to talk about the different individuals that the author has come across that seem to be almost like he classifies them as a first-hand experience where he records what they tell about these people who bargain or either are granted powers from things and other creatures that aren't necessarily godly. So you do see that they talk about how there are fiends that have been in existence that have given powers to people for contracts. You see a few that have people drawing them upon unknown sources. Some of them whispers in the dark or creatures of very mysterious nature, horrific in their messaging and their imagery that pretty much they bring to those who work and worship them. They are more or less unknown, but they are talked about and at least acknowledged as existing, these outlining entities, these powers that don't have any form or really any strong influence to the world. But for the most part, many of them are just what you would have classically known. None of them seem to be tied into yours specifically.
I'll put
Right. You put the book back. Varkash and Rook, you are basically patiently waiting for a good half hour.
Just stuffing my face full of pastries at this point.
Oh, sure, yeah. Occasionally you just go pastry one, open the box. You get a selection of...
Almonds? I fucking hate almonds.
You start to push the almonds
Lovely.
out of your mouth. It's just not the nicest thing, but you just put them out. But as you do that, I need Rook and Varkesh to make perception checks for me since they are not busy inspecting the books.
Perception.
24.
Ooh,
All right.
I'm not doing too bad today.
Both of you notice this. Varkesh, as you are eating and as you have crumbs and bits of debris that come out of your mouth, as well as when you spit them away, you do see that occasionally, from time to time, and Rook, you notice this, the crumbs and almonds drift up in the air, pile up into a little pile that floats and goes off to the side, and then you can see it get dumped out into the streets. It's just this random, magnetizing of dust and debris, and then gets thrown out.
The next time I see this happen, I would like to wave my hand through the space around the almonds.
Why is my cookie doing this?
Go ahead and just make for me a general dexterity check.
Okay. Natural 1%.
No, I mean, you start to do this where you're just you reach, and you're just like, is there anything here? You go a little bit too far and go, whoa, and you fall out of your chair as you just kind of face plant into the
You
ground.
fell over! You're a
I get back up, and I do that thing where I look like I meant to do that, and fluff up my shirt a little bit.
I saw everything.
With the grace of a cat, you are able to correct yourself and reaffirm your superiority of, I intended this, and then sit back down.
I was merely doing some stretching.
Quite happy that feathers block any blushing that you might have underneath. But yes, you are able to neaten yourself back into your chair.
Well, I did have a fly south for the winter joke, but I think that would be too easy.
Yes, Valindra.
a little sigh. Sorry.
Valindra, you finished the book that you have. It's your choice whether or not you wish to take it down, put it back.
I'll put it back for now.
Okay.
Rook looks up to Varkesh.
I saw everything.
This is beginning to drag on.
I step on the bird. No, I really do. I step on the bird.
Oh no, I fucking went out of the way.
But despite the punnings and the dueling of words back and forth between the pair of you, yes, Valindra, you do seem to come back to the two of them having their own little spit spat.
Hey,
He started it.
I don't
It's
care who
not.
started it. I don't care who started it. I'm stopping it. No more.
Who died and made... Oh, no, she's quite evil, actually. No, you're right. We'll stop.
I'm not. Think I'm evil?
Well, you offered me biscuits, and you can take them away. That can be quite evil. So I shall listen.
I'll take it.
But yes.
Okay. Is any? I guess we can go to back to the Golden Lily and ask Sippy about James Mosen?
Mark,
Let's see. I do believe it
Markson.
was
Sorry.
James Moxon. I mean, we could, but I
I don't know where else to start. She won't let us talk to the actual guy that's giving out the contract.
This is true. This is true. She has been a wealth of information thus far. Maybe, at the very least, we can confirm whether or not he moves among higher circles.
Wait, so she didn't tell us where to go to begin this odd
She
retrieval?
told us what street the stolen items have been last known at, but
Then let's go
doesn't
there.
really tell us what the gentleman we are looking for looks like.
Does it matter?
Well, we need to
Yes.
find him.
I say, fuck it. Let's go look for the weird bone thing.
But that's what we're trying to do, but we need to find who took it first.
Then don't we go to the street where... I'm confused.
Okay.
I might have a lead on that. Maybe. I can ask around.
You won't fall over again, will you?
I have no idea what you were referring to, Varkas.
He fell over, by the way. It was hilarious. He was
I-
trying to catch a biscuit crumb.
Does that sound in character to me? It does not sound at all like me.
want to find the urn.
so what would you like to do?
I would like to see if I can find any Kenku nearby.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay, a moment. That button there. 13. Not
As
great.
you have looked around occasionally, and as you look about just to kind of see if any of them happen to be wandering or looking about, you don't see any Kenku nearby at all. There doesn't seem to be any amount of them near this kind of upper section of the town.
Okay. Don't see anyone right now. I still think we should check with CP first. It will at least help us narrow down what sorts of
Well,
areas.
you go check with Sippy Cup. I will go check the street on which we are to retrieve said item.
Okay, and we will meet up over there. I'm sure we will have no problem locating it.
I mean, would it be easier to ask Sippy or would it be easier to ask Lulu?
You have a
Actually-
point. You do have a point. But I
How
will.
long have we been away from Lulu at this point? AJ,
How long have you been away from the
from Lulu.
from Lulu? 30 minutes.
Okay. She will have a delivery for me in roughly another 30 minutes.
Varkash at this point has already walked off, and he's shouting at the top of his voice, heading towards the street to anyone who may have stolen the item to reveal themselves.
I'm gonna catch up to him. Varkash.
Thief!
No,
1
Varkash.
second. This is a good tactic. Watch. Thief!
No, Varkash. No. Hey.
Yes?
This is not a good tactic. Remember, discretion is key. For this particular mission.
Is this one of these missions where I'm going to have to try to be really quiet?
Yes.
Shit.
I know. It's awful.
Takes out one of the napkins, like dabs a tear from his eyes. I don't know if I can do this.
I believe in you, buddy. Give him
Okay.
a pat on the arm.
Well, that's all the encouragement I need.
Oh, right.
Do you have a
Let's-
biscuit? Why am I asking for biscuits? I have a whole bag of holding full of pastries. Do you want a piece of cake?
Sure.
All right, let's see what we got in here. We go. Do you like lemon meringue?
I don't think I've ever had it, but
Well, here you go. You can have it now. Oh shit! It came with a fork. Wow,
Oh.
that pastry guy really gave you everything.
Oh my god, it's very fancy.
You can see it's a very throwaway fork. It's about a small little wooden, kind of almost like a tongue presser that has little teeth at the end of it, so you can.
Would you like a napkin? Just like pulls one out from his pectorals. Just like, here you go.
No, I'm okay. I don't need one of your bosom napkins. I'm just gonna eat my cake very carefully.
Bosom napkins, huh? That's going to be a thing.
You did this to us.
But yes, as you gather up your bosom napkin and you just put it back into place, while you see Valindra enjoying a small little nibble here and there, we'll go ahead and take a little break for our players if they need to go ahead and use it for bathrooms and other facility needs. And then I shall stay here, of course, to try and entertain the rest as you all go off and do what you need to do.
Oh, thank God.
Actually,
By all means, everyone do what you need to do. I shall stay here and keep the viewers company in the meantime.
Wait, how does this work? Do we...
Just keep yourself going.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I have no swap out.
Ouch! I just ran over my own toes.
Not a good thing. But yes, I will take a peek at those in the chat right now who are here. Thank you, Connor. I recognize that name, the layout. Thank you. We did do that in a short amount of time, so I think it turned out really well for as quick as we had to push it up there. Oh, thank you for the what are those, bits or cheers? I can't remember what the term is. Silver triangles, pyramids. Thank you. Cheers. All right, cheers. Got it. Cheers. Okay. Yes, but yes, just some of the things. They are level 8. Yes, they are a level 8 3-person party. There is a cleric, a warlock, and a rogue. And the session for today, we are planning to go for the full 4 hours. So we have another 2 hours left before we will end tonight's story. But yeah, well, at least for today, and then we will continue, of course, next week. I do not need to use the bathroom at this time, so I am perfectly fine. I did not drink or eat anything. I have literally starved myself to make sure not to have that embarrassing thing happen. And, of course, to keep people company, I should stay here. Yes, they started at a higher level. They were these are more experienced players, and for a majority of their actions, we tried to give them a better, what you would call, toolkit to use for the challenges, as well as to make it a little bit more exciting and interesting for a lot of people have already seen what you would call the level 1 to level 5 combats, such as little gnolls and goblins and a few other things. But in their first session, they did tackle some kobolds, but the kobolds were slightly changed to make them.
They were swole as fuck, and it was a problem.
But they were able to defeat these new kinds of kobolds, and they were successful at thwarting the other monsters that came their way. But it looks like everyone is back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They started at level 8, so that was their start. But yes.
No, this is when you meant to lie and say we've been struggling to get to level 8. This has been a struggle.
Yes, they've been going at this for months, and only just now.
He's been a tyrant. He made us face a dragon at level 1.
This game has in fact started at level 1. It's just been going on in the background for a really long time now.
Yes, their party and their players did have activities that happened throughout these times from 1 to then on. So they have a slight amount of experience, and they have had some influence on the world already. So there is that. But yes, so now that we're back, Belindra,
I'm
you have
cold.
just finished eating your cake. It was delicious. It was beautifully tart. Just that level enough where you can feel that urge to slightly wince your eye from the slight sourness, but not enough to make you just go. Mm. But yeah, what would you all like to do?
Well, I've just been convinced not to make a spectacle of myself.
Hey.
So I will, like a disciplined child, follow Valindra back to the place where we're supposed to go.
Okay. Thank you, Connor. Hopefully that fixed that. So you follow Valindra as Valindra leads you back to the center of the square as you turn to go to the Golden Lily or the Trader's Hall.
Well, I was going to ask Rook. So, do you think Lulu would be better? You said you have a half hour. There's another guy that has some books that I wanted to stop by and see. You wanted to kill some time there.
Well, certainly might as well. I think we might as well cover both bases. After we finish with your gentleman with the books, I can go check in with Sippy, and you can check in with Lulu, or the other way around. Either works.
I would rather talk to Sippy, actually.
I'd rather talk to Lulu.
Oh, good. You can talk to Lulu then.
Oh,
You can come with me.
I'm going to do that.
You can come with me.
Lulu, darling, I have a few questions.
Okay, not yet. We have another stop to make first.
I would like to visit Lord Melbourne.
Oh, right. Okay.
Check it.
So go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Which one?
This is Belindra to make.
Right, because names would be helpful.
Okay.
Ask him to make us roll for check.
So, as you inquire, you ask a few people around, you try to see if you can narrow down the spot to where his place might be. Eventually, you do find what appears to be a very nicely, you could say, fenced-off manor home. You can see that it is kept with a stone barrier around the entire perimeter with a bit of iron railing on the top. As you circle around it, you can see that there are some hedges still growing on the inside, kind of giving that little extra bit of almost kind of defense, but as well as some aesthetics, so that someone from the inside doesn't have to look at such a not so pleasant wall. But as you get around to the gate, you do see that it is unlocked, and there is a long cobblestone pathway leading straight up to a nice set of oak doors that seem to be carved in a very intricate way, as the rest of the manor seems to have a very symmetrical look to it. You can see that the columns are kept in nice, even orders. The windows displayed in perfect pairings, as well as a nice set of geometric shapes. It has a very Georgian-esque look to it, keeping itself not only simple, but elegant and refined.
So, knock on the door.
All right. As you do a quick little knock-knock, you see that after about 15 seconds or so, a very kept individual opens the door. You can see that as it opens a little bit, a very tan individual with nicely kept hair pulled back into a very fine, slick back kind of hairstyle. You can see that they have a nice white collar on top of their shirt with a black vest, closing it up with buttons in the middle, silvered and very nicely designed. You can see just a subtle amount of relief work on them. The man seems to keep himself very straight and looking down at you for a moment. You can see that his hands are kept behind his back as he has this slightly, you could assume it could be either dazed or maybe perhaps just barely there. He seems to just be kind of just doing his duty, just going, yes.
Hi. Sippy sent me to look for a book that she had requested from Lord Melbourne.
Oh, I see. Sippy sent you. Very well, please come in. You see him slowly step to the side as he lets you walk inside. He does see Varkash for a moment and goes, one moment, sir, please. As he goes to the other door and he unlocks it and opens it wide so that now you have enough width to walk in.
I take offense to that, but thank you. And I slowly walk in.
As you walk in and every one of you comes inside, he slowly shuts the doors behind him one at a time. You see that the entryway is also just as clean and simple. The floors are made with very beautifully cut and kept tile, that has a bit more of a marble-esque look to it, and you can see just straight down in the centerway there's a large grand stair that leads up, and just to the left and right there are two open doorways that seem to lead into what appears to be a study and a formal dining area. You see he leads you towards the study area. As he gently moves you inside, you can see just across the back wall a large selection of books kept into a very nice, very compact kind of presentation, as every corner is filled with these leather-bound tomes. If you wish to peruse the Master's library, please, by all means, help yourselves. But we do request that you keep them in good order. Do not take them out of this room. And if you have any questions, please summon me. My name, of course, is Geraldine. Please.
Geraldine. I love it.
What a fucking stupid name. Shit, that was out loud.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Geraldine.
Don't mind him, Geraldine. He is uncouth.
The individual looks between the pair of you and goes, "Quite," as he walks off. But yes, Varkash, make an intelligence check for me.
Uh-oh. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Ah, no!
Okay, it's a funny name. It's just a funny name.
Okay.
I want to know what was in that name.
But yes, Belindra, you do see what appears to be one wall completely, decked with books from top to bottom. It's just waiting for you.
Okay.
I would like to look for a chair that might be big enough to sit my butt down on.
There is a large couch, a very long, grand piece of furniture that you could sit yourself on if you are careful.
Excellent! I will dive right on it.
Are you diving on it?
Oh, fuck am I, yes.
Okay, I need to make a strength save for this furniture.
Oh, God.
Let's see, it should probably just beat a 10. It does. All right, so as you do a landing, you do hear that point where you impact and it goes... It just looks to be like that. Didn't really like it, but
I could get used to this
holding it
place.
there.
It's rather nice in here, actually. If you ignore all the books and the other things, the sofa is actually really fucking kind of comfortable.
I'm going to look at Rook and I'm going to be like, okay, if you want to help me find the book before he breaks something, that would be fantastic. I'm just looking for something on, like, patrons, deities, other worldly beings.
Any particular one you're looking for?
Nope.
Fuck, I might start to sing in a minute.
Right. Okay, well, I'll definitely give her a helping hand.
Both of you make for me separate investigation checks as you basically kind of each take a corner.
When you're young at heart.
So as
Singing.
you investigate, as you have the slight background music of Varkash just, passing the time singing, you do eventually kind of make your way towards the middle. Rook, you're able to pull out two books that seem to have some interest to you as you kind of get to the other side with her. One of them seems to just be a general tome that has information that looks to just be listing and putting names down to all the different deities, or at least known deities and other immortal creatures or people that people are aware of. You do see that the majority of this is just common knowledge. Many of it's just something that you could have read or had heard in passing from stories and other bits of information. The second book is a bit more interesting. It looks to be, from what you've read, it looks more like a personal project of what it seems to be the owner's writings, as they have gathered a bit of information and stories. They seem to be looking at something in particular. It looks more like a side hobby of theirs, as they look to have a lot of scribbling notes written in there that seem to talk about mentions of other types of powers, other forms of magic that are out there. There's some that talks about the Shadowfell, some that talk about the Feywilds. To you, this is not necessarily anything divine being, but you do see that as they mention each one, they talk about some of the local creatures that are in there, and some of them are divine or godly in nature, and you do present that to Valindra.
Actually, I present the general common knowledge, and I'm like, I think this might be more what you're after, and start reading through the other one because it interests me.
Oh, okay.
You're not gonna give me the other one?
You specifically stated a very vague answer. I gave you the very vague answer.
You son of a bitch!
Valindra, you turn up with nothing. Nothing seems to be of interest to you in that department.
Would you like me to help for whatever it is the hell you're looking for?
No, this is the
I
only
didn't say I
book
wouldn't
found.
pass out the other. I'm still just browsing through it first. Though.
I would like to look for books too.
Oh god.
Okay, what kind of books do you want to look for?
That is a good question. Valindra, what are you looking for?
Like deities, patrons, otherworldly beings, that kind of stuff.
Okay, let's leave it up to chance, shall we? I will take my mace, and I will throw it back over my head towards the bookcase and see what falls off. Hopefully that's a book that you might like.
Do I see him do this?
I mean,
I am doing it
him,
now.
He's about to release it. Yeah, it looks like he picks up his mace. You see him picking up the weapon as he begins to what looks to be lobbing it over his head. So you can see that happening in the span of a few seconds.
Can I mage hand grab it?
Oh, sure.
So
Make
it's
an
more than
arcane check for me as you try to use the magic to just intercept, catch it.
Oh god. Why am I so bad at Arcana?
Oh.
Why did I
Okay,
roll
well, you
my-
try, and as you see him do this lob back, the mage hand tries to grab it and just misses it at the last second as it flies by. Varkash, make a strength check for me as you are using your unarmed attack, basically, of throwing this thing. You do see that as he throws it, it makes a resounding ting, and then hits the ground. You can see that where it impacted, some of the books were slightly moved and shuffled, and there's now like this disarrayed kind of push in, push out. One of the books looks to have a nasty dent
Oh
in it.
god.
Is that the one you're looking for?
I hand the one that I had in my hands over to Valendra. Like, Varkesh, you think you could fix this? You dented it.
Well, read it. It may be the book.
I open it up and look in it. What am I reading?
It looks to be a romantic tale between two heroes from the age past of the Age of Reckoning. It seems to talk about their gallant fight and their attempt to push back the undead hordes, leading to a very close romance as they were the only two people believed to be left alive.
I don't think this is what she's after, but you might enjoy it if you fix it.
What is it? Oh, there's some dirty words in here.
Oh god.
It's a tale of valor, and
I'm sure it is.
But yes, you do read this slightly dented book now. Valindra, no, the only book that seems to have been given to you looks to have the same information that you are already very well aware of.
Well, he did say that he gave me the one with his like hand scribbles in it.
I did. I was trying to distract Varkesh, and I passed it over to her because that got distracted.
Okay. So as you hand over the second one, Valindra, go ahead and make for me a intelligence check.
Oh no. Are we sure it's intelligence and not like literally anything else?
Yeah, it's intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. So you try to draw any connections that you know from your patron to see if any of them line up with what you see here. As you begin to go through each page carefully and try to, narrow down any piece of information that might be relevant to you, you realize that a majority of this doesn't pertain at all to your deity. But to you, it kind of gives you a little bit of hope, for you kind of now have this process of elimination going on in your head. You realize that from the studies that they're mentioning, nothing about the Shadowfell, nothing about the Feywild has any relevance to what you have, and you recognize that a majority of these worlds that have put influence on the material plane usually leave a specific kind of essence, mark, or a certain way that they interact with those that live here. And from what you have done with your patron before, you know that none of these fit the bill. So it kind of gives you that sense of like, all right, I know it's not this. It absolutely can't be that, but that's the best you can get from reading this book.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Well, thank you for this book and this book. Both were very helpful. Thank you. Lots of good information.
What about this book? This book mentions naughty things.
I'm not particularly interested in naughty things, Barkesh. Just gonna.
That explains a lot.
It also
What do
makes
you
me quite interesting considering we're just enjoying being called evil.
Well, by evil, he means that, I kind of have a power over him.
Yeah, she has biscuits, and it's really annoying that I have to do what she says.
Take out of context, everything up until the biscuits could sound very dirty.
That's why she needs to read this book.
I'm just going to take that and put it back.
No, I was getting to some juicy bits.
Oh, well, then it is time for us to leave.
Oh.
Isn't it time for those crossbow bolts, Brooke?
It is pretty close to that, yes.
Close to, but...
Hurry up, Brooke, for fuck's sake.
To keep Lulu busy. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. As you each take...
I will attempt to steal the book.
Oh, no.
Okay, without your party members noticing?
Mm-hmm.
Sleight of hand.
Yay! Because I'm a cleric, and that's what I excel at.
All right, and you're both passive perceptions. This is basically going against them.
Ooh, not bad.
I see it happening.
All right, okay.
Damn it!
So, Rook, you notice that Varkesh has this little glint in his eye as he looks left and right just to make sure no one notices as he begins to put the book slowly into the side, and the corner of one of your 4 eyes just sees it.
I would like to attempt to position it better so there's less of a chance someone will see it.
Oh, so you want to just make sure that he can get away with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, he does seem to be putting it away, and no one is making any move or notice of the wiser to it. But as you are basically getting yourselves ready to leave, you do see that as you round about to the side, Geraldine is staring at all of you for a moment, just looking at you as he begins to hold his hand out to you, Varkesh.
I shake his hand. It was very nice to meet you, Geraldine, with a stupid name.
No, the book. I would like the book you just pocketed.
What book?
At this point, I pull it out of his pocket and I hold it out to Geraldine. I do apologize.
Brooke, you thieving little budgeriki! How dare you steal from... I'm sorry, and I will push him out the door going, you bad parrot!
Yes, but you do see that Geraldine doesn't really have any care to who gives it back or who took it, but they do seem to just kind of take the book and look at you. Have a nice day.
Don't worry, I will discipline him.
Okay.
You cheeky little fucker, why would you give me up like that?
He knew, Varkesh. I tried to hide it better, but I saw it. He saw it. It was a good attempt, though. Had I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have seen it.
Well, shit. Oh, well, maybe next time.
But yeah, so you
Guess
all...
I'll have to find another use for all these napkins.
You know, we could probably buy a book like that at the markets, right?
I think I'll wait.
But you all head out to the Traders Guild once more, and as you make your way forward, you see that a majority of the people are still going about their business, many of them moving left and right. But eventually, as you start to walk around, you do hear eventually in the distance a slight little echo to the chamber. Darlings! As you see her just kind of move. As you see this little face popping around, she's waving to the side. Ah, over here! Haha, I'll be right there! As she kind of weaves and makes her way. She's like, excuse me. Excuse me! As she just says it in a quick motion, and suddenly all the people part, and then she just goes, ha ha ha, and she walks with a bit more grace towards you.
Do we stay still or do we run? Is her vision based on movement?
She has my goods, Varkesh. We're fine.
You do see that as she gets closer to you, she all just goes, you're back, and at the most perfect time. I have everything you need. Please, come with me. Over here. Over here. And she just does this little, like, picking you on the shoulder and moving you off to the side. Just kind of like hurting you over. As you eventually make your way to the small side, you do see her bring out what she brings as a little package that she just puts on the table. And you see that there's a bundle of crossbow bolts right there. There's about 20 of them. And then she also brings out 2 normal healing potions. She goes, I was able to procure this. Just a little thing for me. Very quick, simple. No problem at all. I also found something else. A little secret of mine. As she looks around and she pulls out what appears to be a scroll. And she puts it on the table and she goes, now we keep that one on a little hush-hush. We won't tell anyone about it. And I'll just take its cost out from your pay reward. Yes, I think that's fair. It's perfectly fair. Here, go on.
Valendra, what is this?
Is it drugs?
AJ, what is this?
As you open the scroll, make an Arcana check for me.
Oh, good.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I get to roll more because this is going so well for me.
Okay. It is a bunch of scribbled text, and it looks to have some kind of arcane nature to it. It's a spell. That's the best you can do. Kesh.
Yes, I would maybe like to have a looky-loo at that weird piece of paper.
You can make an Arcana check with advantage.
What? I didn't get advantage.
Sadly,
I'm kind of confused. Why?
This is a spell that is not associated to you, but it is associated to Varkesh, so he can most likely discern what this is without any trouble.
A 19.
You recognize the spell. It is a scroll of locate object.
Oh, I know what this is. It's the shiny thing finder spell.
You see the Herish go, shh, 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 shh. Not so loudly. They don't know that I took it.
It's the shiny thing finder spell.
Yes, now, it's a very useful spell, I'm told. I'm not very inclined to this particular type of magic, but I do know that it is very useful to finding items. I nicked it off someone. So, no harm, no foul. But by all means, you can pay for this with the share that you earn when you find the urn. Do you I'm earn.
Why are we going to pay you money for something that you stole, you evil devil woman?
I didn't necessarily steal it.
You just literally said you stole it.
Yes, I took it from someone, but they didn't own it themselves. I just picked it up before someone else could purchase it, so I'm selling it to you. The person gets their money either way, there's no harm.
Excellent. I am completely on board with this. Real quick, that I could do some better protection. Might you be able to procure some studded leather armor as well at some point?
Oh my. Well, in your size?
Fat fucker.
I mean, it might need some custom work, but maybe it might.
Over here.
Varkesh.
I can make you it.
Can you?
Well, yes, I would fucking say if I couldn't. Would you like me to make you it?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm not very good at the whole leather working thing, but I can make the studs. That's one right here.
And the finest stud you are, you beautiful hunk, you.
Oh, don't.
But if you would like, my dear friend, I can procure you some studded leather, yes? But it will take me a little bit of time.
That's okay.
Oh, good then. I will try to get it to you as quickly as I can. So, but yes, in the meantime, take what you have here. I suggest using that, seeing if you can narrow it down, find where it's at.
I do like this plan. Real quick, just in case, might you have a physical description of this James Moccasin person?
Well, I don't have...
Did you just say moccasins?
Moccasin.
I don't have a particular description for him. I don't think it was written down. No, just the name. As she kind of pulls out and looks over and goes, no other details besides just that name. But at least the object is described in there. You should be able to get some idea of it at least. Hopefully, might work, might not, but we'll see. I figured I could do all that I can to help my rising stars become the best of the best.
And you've proven quite skilled.
That blowing smoke up our ass.
And if we do not end up using this scroll, will that still be deducted from my pay?
Well, no. If you choose to not use it and you bring it back, I will not charge you, of course, because I will just return it to have it be bought by the other person who wished it. But either way.
I mean, we could use it. It would be really helpful.
But we make more money if we don't.
True, but it would be really helpful.
Anyway, what do I owe you for the health potions and the crossbow bolts?
You should check and see if I actually have that myself. No, I don't.
So, what would you like to do?
I would like to take the scroll, and I would like to read out his oogly boogly language.
You'd like to cast it here?
No, probably someplace close to where it was last seen, if not originally stolen.
Okay.
So the street.
Yes, the streets, Rook.
Well, she gave us a location.
Yeah.
Let us start there. Which direction? I'm shit at directions.
Well, Valindra can point the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yes, I can. It's this way.
All right.
it's this way.
As you head
Wait,
out
did
the
you-
front door.
Did you get the crossbow bolts, health potions, all that?
I'm sorry, say again?
You got the crossbow bolts and health potions? You're good?
Yes.
Okay. This way.
She does wave. You go, ta-ta, darlings. We shall take off the cost from you for when you succeed.
Of course. See you later, Lulu.
Abilities.
I still don't like her.
You don't like anyone.
That's not true. I like Winnie.
I was waiting for that.
I mean, it would be rude to say Winnie isn't a person, but I'm not going to say that because Winnie's clearly a person.
No, he's a fox.
Well, fuck! That's me trying to be polite, and then she ends up correcting me anyway. I give up. I'm not going to be polite to anyone ever again. And I'm walking with my arms crossed. And I'm gonna...
Oh, God. Barkesh, no.
Hey, Varkesh, polite people don't get me going in and buying a ton of pastries for them.
I couldn't fit through the door.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and, you're much more likely to get me to do that for you if you're very polite.
Oh, we got
That's all
something.
I'm saying.
Your logic is flawed.
In what way?
The fact that you're speaking.
All right, fine. See if I ever do anything for you again.
Fine.
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 You're off my Christmas list.
What's Christmas?
I don't know. But yes, we're going to follow Valindra.
All right. She leads you straight out the Traders Guild, and you go back the same way that you were heading towards the library that you had last went to. Not the manor one, but the one for Blackwood. As you go to that location, you are able
Wait.
to...
The one with the obvious guards?
Yes.
Okay.
You're able to set yourself up within the nearby area where it was last held. You recognize that it is actually in Blackwood Manor itself. That is the location that was described to you, and it is the place that was, where the item was stolen.
Well, this is awkward. We'll go back in.
All right, I mean, you walk back inside. The two guards see you again. They just kind of do like a little snicker between the pair of them, but they don't really say much to you.
Yeah, hi. We had such a great conversation last time. I just wanted to come back and talk to you again. So we're actually looking for someone, a colleague of mine, James Markson. You know where he could be, where we could find him?
You see the one guy just roll his eyes. The other one goes, "Does she say James?" James. He was
Yeah.
He was once hired as one of our guards here, but no, he was let go recently due to some certain items going missing, and we pegged it onto him. He was able to be brought back with the items in tow, but he was no longer employed here, so he's now... I don't know where he is. Don't really much bother him.
I'm pretending that I'm writing this down, but I'm really just writing a big sign that says "kick me."
Okay.
I walk up
And
right
when I'm
behind
paying
Valindra.
attention,
And you're going to put the kick me where?
I'm going to tuck it into the back of his collar when he's not paying attention. He's focused on Valindra.
Make a stealth and then a sleight of hand.
Wait, who's calling?
Your
The back of the no, not your fellow, not your collar.
Okay.
The fellow who's being snarky at Valindra.
All right. So he does seem to notice you a little bit from your actions. So make your stealth make your sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Well, would it help? Because as Rook was about saying to do that, I was going to walk right up behind Valindra and add, like, kind of this ominous figure of "Don't be Saki."
No, yeah, you can certainly do that, but yeah, this is just Rook kind of doing it off to the side as they're talking to you.
Still a 17, so it's not terrible.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice it as you just quickly tuck it into the back, as they are focusing mostly on Valindra and Varkash.
I pull out a different piece of paper and come back around him as if I had just been walking around examining his armor, and continue writing.
All right.
Now, does he still have this employment's armor, or is that self-supplied?
Well, I think he gave it back. Didn't he give it back? As you see, one guy goes, I don't know.
That's a shame. It would have been excellent to have as a identifying feature. Does he have any other identifying features?
The two guards kind of look at each other and go, slack jaw. And the guy goes, yeah, he also had that little scar on the side of his head. And he's like,
Scar on the side of the head. And what kind of shape?
oh, just a little nick off to the side. Nothing too...
Okay.
He always put his hair, grow it down, covered it up. The other one goes, don't forget, he had that weird little crooked nose thing. Alright, yeah, punched him out about 2 months back. Never grew back right. Just slightly tweaked.
Wait, a person's nose grows back?
Well, it got repaired back, sorry. But you get the idea.
Don't confuse me.
So you don't know where he lives, where he likes to hang out?
Don't care much for his social life. He just came to work and then he left.
A fairly antisocial fellow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again. It's been such a pleasure talking to you as always. We should chat again soon because it's always, as I said, a pleasure.
They keep their posts, but they don't.
Sorry, I just didn't expect that little vibrato sarcastic laugh from... I'm fine.
But yes, you have a slight description of the fellow as well as being in the location from where he was last thought to have been.
Okay. Well, he was employed as a guard, so that does likely rule out most of the higher-end establishments, at the very least.
Would you like
I
me
say
to
loud enough for them to hear as we're walking away.
Varkash requested if you'd like him to use the scroll now.
Not yet. We are in a fairly well-to-do area at the moment.
I mean, what's the range spell?
DM, what is the range of the spell?
1,000 feet.
Oh, okay.
It is basically as long as you cast it and you basically keep the object in mind, you concentrate on it for 10 minutes. Anytime you get within a blip of it, you will be notified of the blip.
Oh, okay. Then I will take the time to cast it now.
Okay. So you read off the scroll as you unroll it and you begin to recite what you see on it as it begins to glow a white light. You feel that very familiar sensation that your own god gives you every time you pull on his power, as you can see it bleed out of the scroll and once more just start to coalesce around your hands as you feel the magic begin to just seep in as it then goes into your senses and you start to feel more alert.
It's on my nose.
And you look around listening or waiting for any kind of notice of something. Nothing's pinging up yet.
Okay.
Nothing's pinging up yet.
Well, let's go on a walk through the city, I suppose. And the whole time I'll be keeping an eye out for a gentleman with a slightly crooked nose, hair slicked over to hide a scar, with a slack-jawed expression.
Okay. So you can go ahead and make a perception check as you try to do that.
I was also going to be keeping an eye out, so...
Okay.
23.
Would anyone like a cake while we walk?
So
Actually, that red velvet was fantastic.
It actually was. I have another one. Would you like it?
Yes, please.
Aha! I shall get that one. Do you want another lemon meringue? No, wait. I have used that one. Do you like almonds?
I'm okay for right now. I will have a celebratory cake. once this.
Here's your velvet cake.
You should pull out a slice of birthday cake.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And thank you.
Get happy birthday.
I like it.
I was wondering if that's what you were going to be doing eventually, but yes. So, as you continue to
Gonna stick them all together. Make this odd Franken cake.
as you continue to walk and kind of peruse, what direction would you like to head in?
North.
Okay.
North.
Like having been in River Run for a little bit at least, because that's where we all met. Do we know of any like shadier parts of town?
You do know that a majority of River Run has what appears to be the higher, more upper crust community in the heart of the town, and the rest that kind of sprung up around it has been what you would call the lesser well-to-do people like to live. So it's almost as if like it surrounds River Run to a degree. It's kind of a perimeter where
Okay.
you have to choose anywhere from the circle to try and hopefully narrow down where you're going to search.
You know, any pawn shops might be useful too.
That might work. Well, I was thinking if he lived close to here in the less wealthy district, I mean, he would have to be somewhat close, right? If he came to work here every day.
He should have some habits, one would assume.
He mostly kept to himself at the guard post, though.
Even the most reclusive ones have habits.
Yes, but that doesn't help us if we can't pinpoint what they are.
Well, look at the places where one might eat. I'm sure he would obviously go there at some point.
Right, but I'd rather not waste a spell right now. So let's keep walking.
Okay. So as you keep walking and just basically passing by, you're going to head into the north direction?
Northerly, yes.
Okay. So as you spend about a good 5 minutes walking, as you start to look around for any particular individual that might fit this specific description that you were informed about by the guards, no one individual seems to match it perfectly as you continue looking about and everyone's trying to watch. But Varkesh, as you reach about the 5-minute point, you do slightly get one tiny little blip ping for a moment.
Ping!
For a split moment, but then it's gone.
I got a split ping.
Oh, what now?
I don't know, but my brain said split ping.
Okay, well, let's head backwards a little bit and see if you get it again.
Alright, as you try to retrace your steps for a little bit, you walk slowly back the way you did, and you stop at one point next to the corner of one of the buildings before you feel a slight ping just up in the east direction from where you are.
It's heading east, or it is located easterly.
Okay, let's go that way then.
Okay.
Ping!
So just like a kind of little echo in your mind where you feel this like little poof that kind of hits you, and it gets a little bit more. It gets stronger every time you get closer to it. You can kind of feel this little pulsation that you feel that it's kind of giving you this sense of like you're approaching your target. As you begin to navigate your way through the winding streets, you make your way to what appears to be closer to the outer edge of the city, and your pings become very intense as you reach what appears to be a slum kind of part of the town. You can see that some of the homes here are not as well kept. Some of them are trying to be built up, and they're trying to rebuild anything that looks to have been burnt down or might have been destroyed or left in neglect for some time. But you can see that this part of the town is where a majority of new homes are rising up. And as you make your way through, your ping brings you to one building. It looks to be mostly built from the top up, from the bottom up, and you can see that the second story floor has a majority of the outer perimeter done. You can see though that there is still some work in there, and not all the walls are completely finished. It looks to have been stopped in mid-construction for some reason, and look to have been left to just the elements in the meantime. And you can see that rain and other bits of debris in nature have made their home here. As you can see, bits of ivory and other plants pushing out. The roof has holes in it. It's not a very nice place.
I believe it's in this house.
Okay, well, let's keep walking for a moment, Varkesh.
Why? Why would we walk? It's
Just
right in this
trust
house.
me on this. I would like to continue walking down the block, and once we are out of sight of the house, like to say, we're going to circle back around. I'm going to put my hood up. I'm going to try to get inside without anybody noticing. Do you think you can toss me on the roof?
You want me to physically do something, do you? With pleasure.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, I do.
Okay. So
Excellent.
you continue to press past the house and not stop to be obvious as you eventually do a little loop. Come back to it. You pull up your hood, covering your horns as you kind of keep yourself more quiet and stealthy. Go ahead and make a stealth check, and Varkesh and Valindra, you as well, since you're all partied together, and since you're going to toss him up. I need it with disadvantage, though, from Varkesh. And disadvantage from Valindra, because you are also wearing chain. Okay. So, as you,
I'm more stealthy, apparently.
27, 13, and 7.
as you try to move as quietly as possible, you eventually get to the front of the house. You still feel that a majority of the sound that's coming from the party is just from the metal hitting on each other as you hear the chink chink from the chain and the tink tink of plate. But you do reach the sidewall as you can look up and see the slight opened roof above you.
How much does Rook weigh?
Allow me
He
to
probably
check.
weighs about a good 160, 170.
Oh, I could javelin him across the city. That's not a problem.
I actually weigh a little bit less than that in total.
All right.
Well, about 160, yeah. 165-ish.
160, 170. There we go. Right.
Yeah, you're right. I read
Are
math
there-
that you were right.
Are there like windows and stuff in this?
There are windows. A majority
Oh,
of them
please ask me to
are.
throw him through a window.
A majority of them are just open. There are no. There's no covers, no shutters, no glass. They just seem to be open holes.
Okay, well, okay, but before you get thrown on top of a roof, you want me to send my little guy in? You can kind of like look at it.
Might not be a bad idea, but if anybody's in there, they're going to see a small fox appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, but he's adorable. They won't think anything about it.
I don't think that's how that works. Not in the middle of a city.
Look at him. He's just a fox. They're little critters running around in cities, right?
Rats, usually. The occasional cat, stray dog.
Maybe a bunny.
Maybe they'll think he's some kind of weird cat or dog. I don't know. If you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. But I just thought, if you're getting launched onto the roof of this building, there's not really any turning back at that point.
I mean, I appreciate the thought, but when it comes down to it, someone's going to need to be able to. We already know the item's in there. It's just a matter of extracting it or opening the doors so we can get some assistance.
You do know I can bust through the door, right?
We're trying to do this less loud, Varkesh. A little more quietly.
No one ever wants to be loud. No one wants to Kool-Aid man through the side of a building.
Varkesh.
I promise we will have a loud day.
I will hold you to that.
It is not today.
Dang it.
I know.
Okay, Rook. Would you like to be thrown through any selected window, or do you just...
I'm actually going for the roof, please. Also, can you tell me about which floor that item's going to be on?
Would I have the knowledge to be able to pinpoint it exactly, or is it just a vague general...
It's on the second floor.
Okay, it's up there.
Excellent. So the roof will be helpful.
Yes. Right, I grab Rook. Right, alley-oop!
All right, make an athletics check for me.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you try to pick him up, and you're just like, alley, oop, whoop, and it just kind of gets a little slippery for your hand, so you kind of
Stop
throw him up,
squirming!
but you see as you launch him up, he goes about maybe halfway high, and then he kind of, didn't quite get to the actual roof. You kind of just see he's barely maybe at the windowsill. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, Rook, as you try to grab that last little sill before you fall. All right,
22.
you're able to grab it with your hands as you're just like dangling there.
Bloody bird.
You're just barely able to keep yourself up there as you just start to try to pull up. Go ahead and make for me an athletics check as you try to lift your weight up. Okay, so you try. You dig in, and your legs just do this little scraping as your bird claws just go. As eventually it just snaps, as the wood above you just does not look like to be. It's made of any sturdy kind of material, and just snaps off as you go. And you fall down and hit the dirt with a hard.
I would like to catch him.
Go ahead and make a dexterity save for me to see if you can try to catch him. No.
I got him. Shit.
He just hits the floor, and it just is a bit of a splat as he takes 5 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Well, it's your own fault for fucking squirming. Let's try it again.
Actually, I can. How far away is the second floor?
It's about a good 10 feet, 12 feet up.
Oh, yes. Can I just dimension door in there?
If you wanted to.
Yeah, I can actually just like.
And then if anybody's watching inside, you can be seen immediately.
Okay.
You do
Just
also know that you can bamp your familiar up there.
I already offered that. And he
She did.
No.
Right.
He doesn't like my win.
Okay.
I don't like Winnie. I can just do this job better if I can.
No, clearly you have this under control. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, she's mad at you.
Just throw me, Varkesh. This time, I would like to push off from his hand to try to get higher.
All right, so you both do the trying to time it together as you get yourself the 1, 2, 3 and heave. Go ahead and make your athletics check with advantage, Varkesh. All right.
Do I throw him over the building?
You throw him well up over the roof as you just see Rook this time going flying like a birdie. He reaches up to the top, and you see his cloak just kind of billowing behind him as he slowly falls, but then he whoops, hits the roof. Not with a very heavy thud. It seems to be just the right amount of strength as he hits the top.
Excellent. All right, I'd like to go to one of the holes in the roof and kind of peek in and look around.
Okay. As you do that, make another stealth check for me, as you're trying to avoid creaking any of the shingles.
Okay. 22.
As you carefully move across the rooftop, you eventually go to one of the holes to look inside. The first one you see just looks to be a room, or a place that was once a room, as you can tell that a majority of the furnishings have been eroded away to mildew and damp. Even there's a small table that seems to have been broken and left off to the side. Nothing very great or good from it. You can see that you continue down to the next hole, and you can see inside what appears to have been an old tub. It looks to have had a place where people might have used this as a bathing facility. It is filled right now with rainwater, probably about a good 2/3 full, with this kind of thick, mucky kind of ooze. It's just filled with this disgusting kind of smell that you can just barely get a whiff of it from this biled pond water. You then continue down to the next hole, and this time when you see inside, you can just peer down off to the corner with a little bit of an angle, what appears to be a figure that is kept in shadow. Your dark vision is able to see his silhouette with ease, as you can see him seeming to be looking down at something on a table. He seems to be pondering, muttering something quietly to himself.
I make my way back over to the edge and look down to where I can see Valindra and Varkesh, and just start.
Okay, make a performance check.
I'm just trying to get their attention.
Right, you're just trying to beat their passive perceptions. You do. So you're able to eventually, you both just passively see enough of a motion and gesture from him up there. He's trying to get your attention to look. And you quickly look up.
I point at Valindra, and I make like big ears.
I think he's wanting to make up for his insults.
Hold Winnie and like scratch his ears. And look at Rook and be like,
Would you like me to throw Winnie up there?
I'll snap my fingers and send Winnie up.
All right, so
I just offered.
as you take Winnie back into the realm where he belongs, Winnie once more turns into a shadow as he just melts onto your arm and falls down to the ground, and you see the shadow sliding across the surface in lightning speed as he just goes up the wall and around as you see it kind of go up and around Rook's shoulder before it coalesces here and then reshapes into Winnie as Winnie just sits there, ears perked up, looking left and right.
I'd like to shift as far away from that hole that I saw the figure in as possible and whisper to Winnie, "Hello, can you hear me? Lendra?"
I would have been listening through once I sent him up there because I'm assuming that's what he wanted.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a figure inside, hunched over something. I think it's probably the urn, but I can't be sure. Either way, it's only the one room that's occupied. I can't see anyone else, at least on the second floor. I'm going to try to get in and get down and open the door for you guys quietly.
Well, I mean, is he completely, taken by the object? Because if he is, I can send Winnie into a corner. We can try to get a better look if that is actually what he's looking at.
So far as I can tell, yes. All right, I'm going to move back over to the hole so you can look inside. And then I scooch back over to the hole where he was hanging out.
Okay, so yeah,
Does
you
it
get
look-
to... Yeah?
Does it look like there would be a good place for me to, poof him to
To poof Winnie to?
in the room without the guy noticing?
No, there is no visibility for you to be able to do that. You can try if you want to guess where you can bamp Winnie into his location. I believe for the Find Familiar is you have to be able to see the location. You're just going to be going off of through his eyes, so you can try.
Yeah.
Do you want to try?
Yeah. Nah.
Okay.
It's serious. Yeah, that'll be good. Just open the door, I guess, and we'll...
Okay. Now, are any of the holes in the roof big enough for me to climb down through?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right, good.
Hold on. Varkesh and I can go knock on him. Get him to come downstairs, climb inside, grab it, and go.
This is a largely abandoned building. I don't think anybody's expected to be in here. That being the case, I would have just alerted him to our presence.
It's just a thought.
It's not a bad idea, but I'd like to see if I can get by it first.
Okay.
Okay, so go to one of the other seemingly abandoned rooms, probably the one that has the bathtub in it. Just because, dripping water might disguise my sound a little bit better. And I'd like to carefully drop in.
Okay. You're able to easily lower yourself down as you grab the edge of the hole and then just kind of lower in and then drop as you just fall an extra 2 feet just to softly hit the floor. But now you're in there. Go ahead and make a stealth check with disadvantage as you feel the floorboards beneath you are very squeaky. Actually, you have the hood up, so you roll flat.
Only 16.
Okay. So you try your best to sneak to the stairwell that you can see on the other side. You do notice that to get to the stairs, you have to go right past the individual.
Okay. I whisper, well, no, probably better to not do that. Okay, I'll just try it. I'll just try to walk past.
Okay. Yeah, so you try to move as quietly as you can to that point, but you get to just to the edge of the stair as you do hear him go, huh, and turn and look to see you right there. As he just stares at you for a moment in shock, and there's just this 1 second of mutual surprise as you both stare at each other for just a split second. you have a slight reaction because he's about to do something.
All right. Varkesh, get the door.
Sorry, what was that? I was told to
Winnie on my shoulder.
All right, as you say that, you see him pull out what appears to be a dagger, and he lunges it towards you. I need you all guys to roll for initiative.
Oops.
I'm going to put you guys in the appropriate thing.
Okay.
So you guys are over here.
Ooh, that's cold.
To the right. You are in that one.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So, as we get there, you guys, you two are not there yet. You are going to be down the stairs. But Rook, as you were sneaking by, right about there,
Mhm.
You had the one individual come at you. Now, he's going to make his lunge attack. Let me just get his thing up for it to do. And ta-da. All right. And let me put that turn order up. Okay, there we go.
Wait, I get to go first?
No. This is just to get the initiatives ready, sort of thing, because he had his chance to call out that really quickly to you guys before the guy literally did a lunge right to you.
I get to go before everyone else
So-
except for the NPC.
Let's see here. He
Good job, Scott.
I was so happy, actually.
I think you're taking all of my good rolls, and I would like them back, please.
Nope. They belong to me.
So okay, he's got a Dex modifier.
Well, yet to get a nat 20.
All right, here we go. All right. So we got an 11. Okay.
And we all rolled shit.
That was an 11 to hit, you said?
No. This is 11 for
This is
his
initiative.
initiative. That's his initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna like nat 20 Rook. When is this attack? Shit.
But yes. So he does get to go before you, sadly, Rook. And he is
Okay.
going to try and jab you with a dagger.
What a rude dude. I haven't even done anything to him.
Well, you intruded. 12.
Dilly dilly.
That doesn't hit.
That's
Alright. So sadly he misses as he lunges, but you're able to move off to the side, feeling the blade just slice near your armor, but missing it. Farkesh, you do hear that Rook had called you to come upstairs to help him.
I will run to the front door and I will charge headlong into it.
Alright, go ahead and make a strength check as you try to barge through the door. Okay, so you try, and you're just like, ooh, and you just kind of get that little moment of, ow.
Bloody hell! That's one solid door. And then I will attempt to open it.
Okay, it is locked.
Shit!
But yeah, would you like a
Best
bonus
way
action of
to-
anything?
I mean, I will attempt to kick the door or something. I will do something to the door.
Well, you used your action to try and break it down. Sadly,
I will cry defeatedly.
Sadly, Valindra, what would you like to do?
Oh gosh, that is such a good question. I guess I'm going to Eldritch Blast the door. Just knock it
I'm
down.
in the way.
Okay.
Are you? Is he in the way? Is he
I'm
like-
8 foot tall and weigh 620 odd pounds.
He is pretty much occupying a majority of the door space, but not enough that you couldn't try to shoot a few bolts through.
Cutting it close though.
I'm gonna shoot the door.
All right,
but
it is a
I
very
don't want
weak, It's a very weak door. It only has an AC of 12, so go ahead.
Motherfucker. You couldn't burst through it, of course.
I guess there is an end to your talents.
That absolutely hits.
That was a segue.
Okay.
That was a build up to
And
something
your
grand.
second blast. All right. Yes. So,
Point.
all right. With the combined effort, you see the door take the shattering impact as it just splinters off, and you see a large hole in there. It looks to be pretty much on its way out. It has barely anything left. You can see through the door, but it is still standing slightly.
I could have done that.
Well, then why didn't you, Barkesh?
I was waiting to see if you would do it.
Push past him and try to climb through the hole.
All right. The hole is not quite big enough for you to fit through. But so you
I will
just
reach
kind of-
inside and unlock the door.
Okay. All right. So you begin to reach inside to start to do that. As we go to Rook.
Okay.
Jack Nichols away from it.
Like to use my bonus action in Stifle Fighting.
All right. Go ahead and try to see if you can ascertain any weakness to this individual.
23.
All right. Let's see. He makes his deception to you. Yes, you're able to tell that though he has enough of a kind of what appears to be armor that you recognize from the manner, it has that leather with the slight embedded symbol in the center. You can tell that the armor has a lot of weak points right underneath the armpits as well as his legs. He's only protected at his core. If you avoid the core, he'll get some damage in.
Okay. After a very creepy sizing up with all four eyes, I would like to make a jab for the space between his, like his armpit, essentially.
Okay, go ahead. Make an attack.
The ribs.
It's an 11 to hit.
That does not hit, sadly, as you try to get right by it, but the breastplate just gets enough of a slide off, and you're just, shit, damn it. You can't really get through it.
Right, and that'll go ahead and end my turn then.
Okay. Varkesh, it is your turn. You can see Valindra is just starting to reach her hand around to try and jiggle and find the handle.
I will then mace the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make a
I use my free action to say, "Excuse me, Valindra, you might want to watch yourself." Boom! 20.
Right, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. All right. That is absolutely enough as you bash it with your mace, and you see that the rest of the center of the door just splinters into the dark interior, leaving a wide opening for you to go through.
And then I shall run my big ass up the stairs.
Okay, it takes your full movement to get up to the stairwell as you get to the very top. You see, just as you reach it, what appears to be Rook in the middle of some kind of combat with a little bit of the light just peering through the holes in the ceilings for you just to get a bit of an idea of their silhouette as they seem to be engaged in close quarter combat.
Okay, and that's my turn.
Okay. So, actually, he does get to an attack. He gets to attack you before that happens. So he's going to quickly try to jab at you again, Rook, with his dagger, sliding it in. 17.
That'll actually hit.
All right, so you take 7 piercing damage as the blade finds just enough to go right through and just puncture your skin a little bit before.
I'll go ahead and use Uncanny Dodge on that too.
All right, sure, go ahead. You only take half the damage, which will now be 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Well, after Varkesh, Valindra, you see him run up. What do you want to do?
Can I make it behind him?
If you wish to dash.
Okay. Where can I make it to?
You
Because I don't
make it
know,
to
like,
pretty
how...
much right where Varkesh is, right at the point of the stairwell where you could look up and about your shoulders and above can see past this broken railing, and you can see just like from the lower perspective the two fighting.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get close to Varkesh to where I can see. Can I see the enemy?
Yeah, oh yeah, you can see him.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, Varkesh, why are you so large? And I'm gonna fire Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay.
You know how many women have asked me that? A lot.
God, no, this is
Oh,
not...
wow. Natural 20. That absolutely hits. Please roll for damage. Ooh, not bad. 15. Pretty good.
That hurt him.
The 10 sadly misses. So, as you let off the first one, you hit him right on as the guy staggers back, his shoulder being impacted. He turns to look at you, and as you say, Varkesh, why are you so large? His tail slightly hits you on the side as it sends the second Eldritch Blast going wide, hitting the roof, making another hole.
Oops.
This is a very holy building. We should be praying here.
Blaming you, Varkesh.
Rook,
My tail.
what would you like to do?
I'd like to take another stab at hitting him with my rapier.
Go right ahead.
Alright, be 15 to hit this time.
That doesn't hit, sadly. You see
I'm
that
rolling
as
like garbage, it's great.
you try to once more get it right in between the under the arm and inside that like soft spot, but it just flicks off as he twists away and it shinks up and away. It doesn't seem to do anything.
And then this time I'll take my bonus action to try to get him with a offhand crossbow attack.
Okay, go ahead. That
Natural
absolutely
20.
hits. As you basically take the advantage, as you quickly pull up it, and you see that as he brings it up, you fire and sink it right inside, almost kind of feeling like you puncture up to his deltoid, hitting it.
Alright, and I get to double my sneak attack on this too. Hey.
There is no sneak attack.
Why?
You do not have advantage on the attack, and no other ally within 5 feet.
I haven't
Oh,
said
insight!
out.
You have your insight! Of course you do. So yeah, I forgot. That's right, Inquisitive
It's
Rogue.
okay.
Yeah, DM.
Savvy. Go right ahead. Do you want to double it or roll again?
I'll roll again.
All right.
Sounds like fun.
Okay,
That worked out well.
so
All right.
we've got 27 plus
3 for a total of 30.
yeah, 30. Not bad. 30. Very good. All right. As you
And then my final action Just gonna slip around here.
Okay.
And enter.
As you do that, as you sink it in, he just coughs in and just feels that like sudden impact where he's like, you see that his lung has probably been hit as he's just kind of trying to breathe in from this. As he looks around, he sees your two allies come up. He looks panicked. He's just looking around for anything as he takes one look to the side, sees the jar, and you see him push around past you, heading straight towards it. As he grabs it off the table, you see him reach inside with his hand and then pull out what appears to be ash, a large clump of sand, just this gray matter that you see that he lifts it up and he goes and breathes it in. And as he breathes it in, you notice that suddenly his form shakes and shudders as the entire part of his body begins to just convulse as he almost collapses on the ground before you can see his flesh begin to melt and fall away, leaving nothing but a skeleton in its wake, as you can just see this animated undead coming back up, looking around with these empty sockets, as you see him turn to you, Rook, and raise a hand up high, and you see that the fist holding the rest of the dirt opens and releases as a majority of the ash just pillows out right up into the sky. As you can see the entire room being surrounded by this gray ash that swirls into this weird tornado torrent, as then suddenly bits from the actual ash form into bones, and you see more bones coming out from this, rematerializing into bits of skeleton. You can just see all these coming together, forming into this large, terrible looking swarm of undead. It is now just basically looming up at you, this weird animated form of just skulls, ribs, femurs. It's just really haunting and very terrifying just to suddenly see it appear right on you. So it's going to make its initiative now, as we have no more of our lovely little bandit. Now we have a boom swarm.
Oh, good.
Hooray! It's Christmas.
Just what I was hoping for. More dust in my feathers.
So the boom swarm rolls a 20. All right.
Good lord.
Now this is during his turn, so you guys still have your actions, because technically he is going to go first, but you all get your moment to do something. So what would you all like to do? Varkesh first. You see this happening.
Okay. First of all, I would like to cast Beacon of Hope on everyone.
Okay. As you see this swarm of undead come out, you immediately begin to bathe everyone in what appears to be this holy light as you clutch your amulet and begin to pour out this energy as everyone feels themselves breathe in this kind of divine saturation, almost magnetizing the magical light that you just will bleed out and just get full right back into them, healing them at the max amount. It is just, you feel energized. All of you feel ready. You feel stable. You feel secure. You're ready for this.
And then I will proceed to move into the corner of this room.
Okay, so you move up and around the stairway and get to that corner.
Yep.
Freeing up space for Valindra. It is your turn. Would you like to move?
I would like to move.
All right, go right ahead.
Top of the stairs. So was I technically here or was I here?
You were there.
Okay, so like
You can see that many of the walls, by the way, here are not fully built. Many of them have gaps and holes. You can see through all the other buildings. There really is nothing to stop you from moving in between all these places.
okay. I'm just trying to. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna charge up at this thing, bonus action, Shadow Blade, action, stab it.
All right. Go right ahead.
That's
that does not hit, sadly.
No, I didn't think so.
But yeah, you try to stab at it, but you find that a majority of your strike just hits nothing, and just hits nothing but air as you pull it out, and you see that the bones are moving about in a swarm, just this cloud that is it's just hard to find a nice weak spot to strike. You're just hitting air.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's my turn.
All right, Rook, what do you want to do?
Is the urn still on the table over there?
The urn is still on the table. You can see that it is basically now just kind of part of this, almost kind of like the spell, that you can see that it is spewing out the ash and keeping the tornado around you. You can see the entire room is surrounded by this.
Okay. I'd like to try to stuff that into my bag.
Okay, as you pick up the urn, you put your hands on it. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Ah!
Well,
Okay, as you pick it up, you suddenly feel the sudden pull as the ash goes around you and starts to circle your arms as you feel it kind of taking you up, and you fly up into the sky as you get pulled into the torrent and you get flung in the room, just moving about before you impact the wall and take a slight as you fall down with the ash just still just covering you. As you can see, bones are still coming from the ash and filling up the swarm. So let's go see. You're going to be moving about in a random direction.
oh, good.
I thought you were going to get sucked into the urn.
All right.
This is still bad, but not as bad.
All right, you get thrown back 10 feet in this direction. And you can go ahead and take a total of 8 bludgeoning damage as you are flung and hit hard onto the surface after being thrown into this spiral and pancake.
Okay.
But yeah,
Let's
still have a bonus
see here.
action.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and move right here and take a shot at him with my crossbow.
Okay. Can you, though? I think, is that when you make an attack, you can use a bonus action attack?
Let me try.
Because I think it's one of those things where it's like, as a bonus action, you can use an offhand weapon attack, and you can use your crossbow since you are a crossbow expert. But I believe since you tried to grab the urn, it was not an attack.
Yep, it is a bonus action attack, so actually, screw that. I'm instead going to move up here and try to hide.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for me as you try to hide behind some of the broken wall. Okay.
19.
You try, but I mean, for the moment, you're just kind of doing your little stumble motion as you're trying to hopefully huddle down. You're kind of comforting your own wounds at the moment, not really thinking too clearly.
Point
as to whether or
of
not you're
fact,
stealth.
my hood is still up, though.
Oh, that's right. Your hood's still up. All right, so you tuck into the corner, keeping yourself very well and secure in that little nook that you've got. The rook nook. The swarm looks around, and it seems to be going towards Valindra.
Yay!
So it moves as you see the swarm begins to engulf her, just
Oh shit! No!
pulling her into this kind of tornado of bone and ash as it just continues to swirl around. It's going to go ahead and try to smack you with its bones. 18.
Is my armor class.
All right, so it just hits, sadly. And it is going to do 31 bludgeoning damage to you.
Good lord.
Jesus.
Oh, you always give me the half health on that first hit.
But yes, you do feel the sudden impact of bones just kind of smacking you like hail. It's terrible and terrifying at the same time.
So is she grabbed at the moment? Is she
She's
restrained?
not grabbed. It's almost as if like the whirlwind of this entire magic has just kind of caused
Shrapnel to her.
yeah, this hurricane, and she's in the eye of the storm right now, and the eye is the center where all these bones are at.
Okay.
It is your turn, Barkesh.
Okie dokie. Then I will proceed to move forward 10 feet, kind of just before I reach the Rook Nook, as it's so called. And I will cast Healing Word on Valindra at level 2, and seeing as Beacon of Hope is still active, it will be max
It will
word.
be maxed, yep. So double the 4, 8, plus your wisdom modifier, which is 4, so you heal for 12, Valindra.
And using a Channel Divinity is an action.
It is an action, that is correct.
Okay. Then I will lift my massive left foot and slam it on the ground and radiate divine energy out across the floor, and I will attempt to turn undead.
All right, okay. So you begin to try and make the creature fearful of you. All right. With a 10 for its wisdom saving throw, as you do that, you see that the swarm begins to start, it just begins to pause for a moment and not swirl as much anger as it sees your sudden light as you grab your symbol and stand firm as you just begin to glow, and your aura just pushes out this kind of wave of light that hits, and the creature turns and looks at it, and you can see that the bones that are hovering just start to push back a little bit, and every time your wave just emulates out, you see it just shrink back each time. It looks to be intimidated and feared by you.
Damn right you're scared of me.
Does this also affect Winnie?
Oh, shit.
I do, yeah, go ahead and make the saving throw for Winnie.
Sorry in advance if you fail.
If I'm not mistaken, it'll automatically die if it fails.
I think Winnie is fine. Is your DC 14? I mean, I think, is that what it is? Or is it 16?
Well, my modifier? My spell save, are you asking?
Yeah,
it's 15.
It's 15?
Mm-hmm.
Winnie passes. Winnie just barely passes as the wave of this light hits Winnie, and Winnie just kind of shrinks back to it. You see it just kind of grazes across his fur, but he isn't turned by it, and you just see him holding his form steady, nestling into your your neck, just trying to keep close to you.
He's still on.
Oh, so nestling into Rook's neck. So nestling into you, Rook, you see this kind of slightly coward and fearing, just fennec fox nestling into you.
Reach up and pet him a little bit.
Valindra, it's your turn.
Okay. So clearly, the urn is magical, and the magic is causing the effect. Yes.
You can assume that.
I'm gonna cast
Cryptic.
magic.
You're casting Dispel Magic. Oh, okay. Please roll for me a Charisma check as you try to push back this magic. Okay. So, sadly, you try to focus this interruption of magic that you just focus into, make it just break away as you begin to solidify it in there. You try to blast it, and you think that you're forcing it right at the spot that you want, but at the same time, the magic just doesn't go with enough oomph to it as you just feel it hit, and the bones just kind of scatter a little bit. Some of them fall to the side and just speckle onto the ground, but the form of this swarm is still kept in check and is still holding itself there. It's not moving in terms of like a threatening, and it's not making a torrent, but it is hovering in place, just suspended and waiting.
Okay.
Okay, and when Kayla comes back up from the floor, Rook,
she abandoned ship.
You didn't try to be fair.
It was a very good attempt. Rook,
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Like to peek around the corner to try to insightful fighting this horrific creature.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. By the way, Valindra, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw because you were holding Shadow Blade at the time when you took the damage.
Oh.
Yay! Oh wait, that's not the one. Never mind. Yay!
All right, you keep the spell. Good job. You cannot discern any kind of weakness on this creature. You are trying to see if there's anything, but it's just floating bones. Nothing seems to be, a useful weak point.
How can it?
Well, I will still try to take a stab at it from here.
Okay. As you get closer to it and you pull out your rapier and you jab it forward.
Was I successfully stealth?
Yes, you were.
Okay. 26 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
For a total of 21 points of damage.
All right. So, 21 damage. Nice.
It is piercing.
Resistant to piercing?
It is not.
Potentially.
You do see that you hit one of the bones, as when you do, it just flies off, but you can see that now suddenly the weight of the energy that Varkesh had pushed onto it, causing it to stop and be in fear, it just looks down at you, broken from this trance, and just once more begins to slowly spiral and turn as the entire bones of Swarm just begins to tornado itself into a big spiral once more.
Is that what that overly large fucking charisma thing was?
Or until it takes me damage. What was that?
No, but it took damage, which broke the turn. As you do that, you see that.
No, it has to take damage from me, doesn't it?
Nope, just any
No,
damage.
so it takes damage.
So
God
you
damn
see
it.
that the swarm moves and just tries to get more into its into the eye of its deadly impact, and it goes and it hits Rook and Valindra. So first one will go for Valindra. 13, which I'm assuming misses.
Not hit.
All right, so you're able to pull out your shield and just kind of protect your vitals as you hear the tink, 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 tink impact of the bones. 17 for you.
That'll hit.
All right, as you see the
And I'm
bones-
going to use my uncanny dodge.
All right, so you take half of 23, so you take 11 damage as you have the bones pelting you left and right as some of the teeth just stick in and then pull out, and some of the bones hit you hard, and you just feel yourself being impacted by it. It's not pretty. It's very terrifying now that you can see nothing but bones surrounding you. Farkesh.
Okay, I will back up just a tad, and then I will use Sacred Flame as my action.
Okay. It fails, so it takes the full radiant damage as you push out a kind of like an arcing flame of radiant light that just smacks some of the bones, and you can see they just hit the ground, becoming motionless.
Take that, you bony bastard! And then I will use my Healing Word at level 2 to keep Rook on top of his game, and Beacon of Hope is still active.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. And you're doing at what level? Second level?
At second level.
All right, so you heal for 12, Rook, as you feel once more the holy energy coming out of Varkesh as he extends his hand out and it shoots out a silhouette of gold and it hits you on the back and you feel a complete immediate surge as the healing just fills you up entirely. Valindra.
Okay. If I move here, that does not count as flank, right? What does it?
It would be count as flanking. The bones have a specific thing about them that allows them to occupy other creature spaces. So at that kind of position, I would say that you are.
Okay. I'm going there, and I'm going to stab it.
All right, as you try to coordinate your attacks with Rook to see if you can find a good weak spot. 21 hits.
Ah!
Okay. You impact it, and as you see the blade just go in, you can feel as it just shakes through your arm, this kind of psychic vibration that you just push in, and the bones start to feel it as many of them begin to vibrate and sink, and then shatter and break, as many of them fall apart and just hit the ground as specks.
Good. Okay.
Would you like to do anything else?
That is my...
Okay. All right. Rook, what do you wish to do?
Okay, so I'm going to move right over to right there.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to stab at Blur Rapier. 22 to hit.
All right, that hits.
Ooh, that's nice. It'd be 25 points of damage.
Nice. Very nice.
And then I'll take a bonus action to go ahead and try to shoot my crossbow at it too.
Okay.
17 to hit. Because of flanking, right?
Yes, you are flanking still, yes. So go ahead. Yeah, that would 17 just hits.
Okay. For an additional 1 point of
damage. All right, 26 total. So you're able to... You stab out a few of the bones as you just basically push them out of this kind of tornado and get it away from this cyclone of magic, as you're able to just see the one more you hit with your crossbow, a tiny little finger bone boop, goes off to the side. But it certainly does do some damage.
I'll take it. Then I'll go ahead and enter.
All right, you see that the swarm is moving about. It's looking to whatever it wants to try and envelop, and it does see that 2 is better than 1, and it just begins to continue cycling, and it goes straight towards you, Rook, enveloping you once more.
Rude.
And as it envelops you, it also then pushes out its own kind of force to smack Varkesh on the side as it tries to patter him with the bones.
I get an attack of opportunity.
You do.
And I have Warcaster, so I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh, all right. Okay, so go ahead and Throw out your blast. That hits, and that hits.
Ha
All
It's
right,
13
13 damage. Nice. So you're able to shoot out 2 more force blasts as the bones move away. You're able to pop off a skull and pop off a shoulder bone as they hit the side before they reach Rook and Varkesh, swirling and punching them with their bludgeoning and piercing and slashing. It is a mixture of the best damage possible. And it just goes right to you, Rook. 23.
That'll hit.
I think that hits it.
Uncanny dodge.
Alright, and you're going to uncanny dodge this, and you take, so you
Jesus.
take that's 16
16.
damage. Yep. As then we move over to Varkesh. 18.
Misses.
Alright, you're able to bring your shield up, and the armor on your side protects you from most of the impact as you're able to weather down this barrage, and you're able to keep yourself standing, avoiding any damage from this swarm.
Okie dokie.
It is your turn.
Okay. Now, I'm going to move around to stand as close as I can to Rook.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to reach out and grab him and cast Life Transference.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
This again.
So go ahead and roll your 4d8. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. No. This is maximized.
It's
I
maxed, yeah.
believe. Is it, well, hold on. No. Beacon of Hope says any healing you take is maximized. But the damage this is damage done that then gets transferred to you. So go ahead and roll it. This is still a roll. Because this is how much damage do you take, which then pops over to him.
I take 20 damage.
You bleed away
Maybe
20 of your
40.
own life as you heal for 40 at Rook, as you feel this sudden surge go through you. As Varkesh, you kind of stagger a little bit as your grip just kind of slowly tightens but then loosens as you feel the strength leave you once you've transferred this holy light into him, leaving you empty inside as you feel more just sallow and you feel like a shell. And you just kind of stagger a little bit, regaining yourself, making sure not to fall over as you kind of shake yourself back to where you are. But you're good.
Okay. How much healing does he get?
40.
You put it back full. Pretty godly.
But yeah. So then it goes to Valindra. What would you like to do?
Is the urn still on the table?
The urn is still on the table.
Actually, I would like to use my bonus action to then heal myself.
With a level 2 or less?
With a level 1 Cure Wounds.
That is an action.
Oh, sorry. I meant healing word.
Okay, so level 1.
Yep. Level 1.
You heal for 8.
Boo.
However, you did take damage. I need you to make a concentration check. So make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Constitution saving throw.
You are Warcaster, so you do have advantage on this. 11, you just pass. So
Oh, yay!
you're able to
Thanks
keep
for that.
you're able to keep your beacon, allowing you to heal yourself up to full. Well, giving the full
The
healing,
full amount.
the full amount. Valindra, what do you wish to do?
Said the urn was still on the table?
It is still on the table.
Okay. Just, is it on this side or the other side?
Right where you are, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I would over here so I can get a good shot at the beastie. And I would like to fire one shot at the beast and one shot at the urn.
Okay, go ahead and make your shot for the beast, and then make your shot for the urn.
That's for the beast.
That just misses, sadly.
That's for the urn.
Well, that absolutely hits.
Ha!
Okay, so you miss the swarm slightly as you then try to redirect your other hand to the other side as you hit the urn. It does hit it, and you see it spins a little bit and topples as it kind of goes, spins, and just lands back on its place. It doesn't seem to have taken much damage from the force, but it did make it twirl a little bit.
And when he gets movement, right?
Yes.
But if he moves, he's gonna get attacked. Never mind. I was gonna say he's gonna run back to me, but
Actually, sadly, Winnie would be in the swarm at this point, so Winnie does take a attack.
no.
So it's just a thing. 12. I think that goes past his armor class, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so Winnie sadly has joined the tornado. As when you see Winnie take the impact, he just falls off and then suddenly splits into multiple parts as Winnie becomes a collection inside the bones, as paw, head, tail, body all just start to swirl up in there.
He got stuck in the blender. It's so sad.
That's fucked up. Wow, okay.
Winnie, no.
But yeah, Winnie is kind of in pieces right now. But yeah, is that it? Is there anything else you wish to do?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Rook, what do you want to do?
Okay, well, I had something in mind and then I just lost it from that whole clusterfuck. I will go ahead and move out around to here.
Okay, you go slightly down the stair.
And go ahead and take a stab at it with my rapier.
Okay.
And before I, of course, make that move when I shut up, that's our paycheck, Valindra! And then stab it.
Okay. Yes.
18 to hit
That does hit.
for a total of 28 points of piercing damage.
Did you wish to use your offhand crossbow?
Yes, please.
All right, go right ahead.
23 to hit for an additional 4 points of damage. Slightly better this time.
Nice, yeah. Okay, so you're able to once more stab and then bring your arm back up and fire as it does hit one of the skulls and knocks it off to the side. You can see that the swarm is mostly broken apart. There's about maybe a good 20 or so bones still left. It's no longer holding as much as it was. It's kind of breaking apart. But it is going to... It's going to stay where it is and going to extend itself out as the tornado of it just widens so that it can impact you and Varkesh. And so it's going to swirl for Varkesh first. Natural 20.
Oh no.
So
That's right, bully the cleric.
that does 44 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Oh, motherfucker's gonna suffer for that.
And then the other one goes to Rook. Oh, well,
Alright.
it was very close. That is a flip-flop right there.
And I will go ahead and do the thing where I uncanny dodge. That
Alright,
weird.
so you take half of 28, so you take 14.
Okay.
Varkesh,
And I need to make a con
yes,
save,
please.
which is obviously going to be more than a 10.
You have to roll a 22. Sadly, it is not enough as your beacon of hope breaks your concentration as you suddenly have almost a flying skull right to your face. You just kind of blink as it impacts, doing a nice stout thwack to the brow.
Dang it.
But yeah, the swarm is just, it's barely keeping up, Varkesh. It's your turn.
Okay. Well, fuck this guy, and I'm going to healing words myself
Okay.
because I have a plan. Hopefully it'll work. Alright, I'll do it at level 2. So, hey!
11.
So, there we go. 11. Now that's my health. And then I am going to take a step back. It will give it an attack of opportunity.
Yes, it does. No, it does not hit you.
Thank fuck for that.
You see that its yawn just kind of pulls back, so it tries to get you as it coalesces into the center, so it just kind of pulls away and misses entirely.
And then what I will then do is just turn around, hold my amulet in one hand and raise my other hand and just snap my fingers and cast a wall of flame around it.
Around the jar?
No, around the bone swarm.
Okay, Rook is in the middle of this line of fire.
I am aware of this.
Okay, probably.
Okay, Rook, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Go ahead and beat Varkesh's 15 to see if you appear on the other side. All right, you're able to get on the other side of the wall, because the wall only exudes heat and damage from one area. As you see Varkesh just spiral it around here. So the creature will make a dex save to see if it can half its damage. It just barely does, so it takes 12.
Motherfucker.
But you do see that as the fire kind of picks up, it swirls once, twice, 3 times as you basically stack the wall on itself, since it has like a 60-foot spread, basically. So it just continues to circle and circle around it, completely almost encasing it in this inferno oven. As you can see, the bones begin to disintegrate back into ash and start to fall to the ground, as you can see more of it. You also notice that as your fire is continuing to grow, a lot of the wood here, the broken shambles and the splintered like furniture are catching fire. Everything is starting to burn.
I am fine with this.
Valindra, it's your turn.
Famous last words.
Can't hear you, Kayla.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay. I heard an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, go ahead and throw out your Eldritch Blast. That hits. And that also hits.
Yay! I get
4 damage. So you were consistent at least on hitting. So yeah, you shoot out 2 blasts with your hand as you hit a bit of the bones through the actual fire, feeling that the fire might have dampened some of that magical impact a little bit, but you're able to do some damage to the swarm. As you can see, it's starting to waver. It's no longer keeping itself solid. It's kind of flying about madly, trying to do anything it can. Rook.
Okay. So if I stay in this location, will I have to be concerned about that wall of fire?
You were on the outside of it because of your deck save, so you're able to be on the other side of the fire. It doesn't actually hurt you. Only one side of the wall.
Okay, I'd like to use my bonus action to try to insightful fighting again then.
Okay.
That'll be 20.
You're able to tell that right at the center of it, there looks to be one particular bone that happens to be very solid and is holding itself strong. It looks to be, from what you can tell, very small. Maybe no bigger than the size of a finger bone, but you can see that that particular one looks to be the heart of it.
Yeah, well, instead of trying to stab through a wall of fire, I'm going to go ahead and grab my hand crossbow and line up a shot for that
go
bone.
ahead.
15 to hit.
15 sadly misses as you try to aim and it just goes a little wild. But you can quickly reload and fire as a bonus action.
I can't. I used insightful fighting to bonus action.
Oh, you did. That's right, sadly. So yeah, it goes wide as you try to get that spot and it just misses, goes through air.
And then I'll just go ahead and turn them.
Okay, the creature itself is going to try to reach out and smack you from where it is, but it is currently stuck inside this firewall. So it's doing one last hurrah. No, that hits you, does it?
That'll miss. No.
Alright, so as it tries to reach out and do that, it just keeps swirling into this flame, not knowing what to do or where to go. It just doesn't want to move, but by not moving, it causes more damage to itself. Varkesh, roll for your damage.
Okie dokie.
Alright, 21, as it makes... No, it does not make the save. So,
Damn right it doesn't.
So, Varkesh, how do you want to do this?
I want to find a random piece of wood and just pick it up and just fan the flames and just go. You fucking burn!
So, as you rely on the ferocity of your spell, you begin to fan the flames as it continues to swirl, and you can see that the bones are starting to break apart, falling into ash, as suddenly the inferno begins to spiral in sync with it, catching all the bones that would have flung outside and just kind of making a complete pillar of fire, a solid orange and red heat wave that just kind of bursts up into the sky, and you can see it hits the roof and just sends some of the shingles flying as a lot of the embers just drift and fall apart before you just see it go and vacuum away as just bits of ash fall apart, leaving a big pile on the ground, just this gray sand.
Excellent. And then with that, I'll stop the concentration and end the wall of flame.
Yep. As the wall of flame disappears.
Who said clerics can't be kick-ass?
I don't think I heard anyone say that, actually.
Is the building still on
but
fire?
it's not appropriate to say.
Is the building still on fire?
There are bits of the building still on fire. You can see that the couch in the back is on fire. A bit of the floorboards are on fire.
Secondary problems.
Is it small enough that we have a chance of putting it out right now?
You can try.
I'm going to go ahead and try to put it out.
Okay, go ahead and make a...
I will use the entire contents of what little water I have on me for my ration packs to try to make it.
Go ahead and make for me a dexterity check as you try to quickly move about left and right to basically beat the flames before they can reach any further. Alright, you're able to, after about a good minute or so, just literally going left and right, taking the water, spilling it out, taking your cloak and patting some down, taking your foot and going to stomp it away as you just kind of do this quick search around, even kicking some of the ash to try and smother the flames. But yeah, as you all do this, and you see that, Varkesh is kind of looking a little bit more proud of himself. Valindra, you also see
Yes, I am.
because you're looking in this direction, you notice that the urn, the swirling torrent around you has begun to kind of dissipate, and it's just drifting as a cloud, and you notice that the whole center of the urn is just starting to suck it in. As you can see, bits of the ash starting to, almost like a low fog cloud, coalesce on the ground and come back up and sink in. As the rest of you also notice this, your feet just suddenly look behind you as you see the direction of this ash smoke going back into the jar and sealing itself in.
I do my absolute best to stand as far out of the smoke as I can at this point.
Okay.
And I'm just like dusting myself off the entire time.
I mean, even as you dust yourself off, it starts to fly off of you. All the ash that was in this room returns to the urn.
Andy.
You do not need to preen.
Said it's like a skull urn, right?
The urn, if you look at it more closely, when you see it, it looks to be made of one solid piece of white porcelain. It has what it looks like to be just a very faint amount of what you can feel as just almost like a kind of relief that's just been barely put in, but you can't see anything just from your naked eye, but you can feel that there's some texturing to it. But as you get closer and you start to feel it, something stops you as you pause, and you hear a very faint whisper in the back of your head, and a very recognizable voice just starts to whisper in your ear, saying, "Reach in."
Okay, you're the boss. I'm gonna reach my hand in.
Alright, you reach your hand inside. As all of you watch, Valindra does the same thing as the bandit does, but as she reaches in, Valindra, you grab something. And when you grab it, you suddenly feel a tiny little bone, probably no bigger than the size of a finger bone. And as you touch it, suddenly the inside of the urn glows a blue. You can see this glowing aura pulse out. And all of you notice that actually the reliefs that were very faint and hard to see now become apparent. You can see that the glow inside has caused enough illumination to make the exterior show its contents. As you can see, what appears to be a swirling display of a horde of undead, this massive army that just seems to be carved in these faint waves rolling around and just seems to be gathering in this forever, like, infinite march upon itself as it just keeps spiraling around this urn as you pull your hand out and the blue light fades. And Valindra, you hold a small glowing blue bone that as you just hold it for a moment, you hear the words, "Good." And the glow disappears to leave just a normal bone.
Care to explain what that was about?
I just got the finger out of the urn.
Right.
That's all.
Scott, you're like a fucking 2-year-old.
Could I actually have one of those napkins, Barkesh?
Ah, yes. Which one?
The least sweaty one, please.
I don't sweat.
The least sweaty one.
Da-da-da-da-da. There you go.
I will fold the little finger up, and I will put it in my bag.
Alright, as you fold it up and put it away, you just tuck it into the side as you hear the voice finally whisper a little last sentence to you as it just says, 2 down.
Okay, but like, how many left?
Well, there's 5 fingers.
Is my passive perception good enough to hear her whisper that?
No. Well, I mean, she might say that out loud. Yes, you might hear that. But as it says that, and you kind of ponder that thought, that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Hey.
Good job, guys. You were able to defeat the swarm of these bones and the ash.
And our reward was a finger.
Well, for Valindra's
It literally gave us the finger.
Was it the middle one?
Yes, the urn gave you the finger. It absolutely did. But
Oh.
yes, congratulations. You guys were able to successfully defeat it, as well as not destroy the urn. That was a potential you could do. You would just get no reward from it. Could have sucked.
Yay.
But you were lucky enough to not do that, as you were able to not only retrieve both of these items, you also didn't die in the process. Some of you got really close. Some of you started to hurt really bad.
You're welcome.
But you were able to push through. So,
Thanks, man.
good job, congratulations, and thank you all, everyone who has been in the stream, who has watched us this far. I really hope you enjoyed what you got to see right now, and do look forward to us coming again next week on Sunday, same time, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. We will still have our three adventurers, Varkesh, Valindra, and Rook, continuing on their adventure to see what will become of this urn, and returning to Lulu and seeing what else she has in store for them. But until then, of course, thank you so much, everyone. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you around next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.